What is going on, Benchwarmers? Welcome back to another game week of Premier League action, Premier League recap, Premier League predictions, and Fantasy 15. I'm one of your hosts. My name is Eric.
Nico Nick.
John, a.k.a. Gat.
Josue, a.k.a. Dyer.
And behind the scenes, making sure everything works properly.
Our crack
Marco.
producer.
Every time you guys say that, I feel like the next recording is going to be shit.
Something
Or something haven't happened.
Our
And
crack
then-
producer shuts down.
And then I'll be
automatically.
hearing Jeff's text. I'll be seeing Jeff's text like, "Oh, correct producer, huh?"
We'll
Yeah,
say.
Jeff, you got a shout out, boy. You got a shout out in the wrong context.
No,
So I'm sorry about
He,
that.
he also asked for the video. Where's that? I'm like, it's 11 o'clock.
One day,
Trying to sleep.
one day we're going to introduce him as crack producer. The lights are going to go out just like the Liverpool Wolves game.
Bro,
The whole world will
it's
shut
gonna,
down.
it's gonna be the it's gonna be the Leeds game against Arsenal. All the AV equipment went down.
All right, look. Before we get into everything, man, Nick, I gotta ask you, man.
Wow,
How much did you guys pay these referees and then this technology, the crack producers at Liverpool, man, for one, that Wolves robbery the last game, and then the lights shutting off in the middle of the game? What did you guys do here?
That would have been a nice cross from Traore, too. And then the lights went out. You know,
Yeah,
you don't know what
that's how you
happened.
sus, bro. Sus, man,
Bro,
sus.
that Qatar money coming in already, bro. What can I say? All right, I do have a question here on the whole lights shutting off on a Traore.
Mhm.
What is genuinely stopping a home team in a Champions League semifinal tie to do that?
That's what I'm saying. What are you guys doing here?
I know, but like my genuine question is, there's nothing stopping a team from doing that. Like genuinely, like imagine it's 1-1, right? Messi's on the break for a counterattack.
They just shut off the
and they
lights.
shut off the lights. Like, what can they actually do about that?
Nothing,
They
just
can't do
keep
anything about that.
All right, look, for
They
anybody.
can't gift the goal.
Look, so now we know. Now we know. I'm trying to think of the World Cup final. Who was the World Cup final again? Argentina and France. Now we know what France didn't do what they should have done.
Should have done, yeah.
Should have paid those Qatari people and
Messi.
just shut up the lights.
As Messi's running up for the penalty kick.
Yeah. Exactly.
Click.
They can't give away the goal. They're just gonna have to either, if it's a penalty kick, obviously retake it, or if it's just open play,
Just keep fucking doing it.
drop
I
ball.
mean, you could just do what Argentina does and just put 12 people on the field at one time.
Damn. Yo. I just want to shout out that nice little jersey above Gat's head that has 3 stars on there, thanks to the GOAT that we know as Messi.
And it's been a month.
It's been a month. Yeah,
been a month.
It's been a month. Isn't that crazy?
Exact month.
Did you see your boy Luis Suarez scored a hat trick on his debut? Yo, Uruguay ready for the World Cup final, bro.
Let's
Let's
go.
do
God.
it. Let's do it.
Dyer,
Let's
we
do
missed you. Welcome back from your Florida tournament. How was that?
It was a fun tournament, very competitive. I did not expect that, to be honest. It was a lot of on my team there was a lot of Brazilians wearing the Argentinian jersey. Not gonna lie, as soon as they saw the jersey, they were like, puta. they were kind of a little salty, but it was a fun tournament, tough. I got to play alongside a couple of my cousins, which was great. They all live in the South. One of my cousins was actually a coach. That was awesome.
My cousins, the South.
Oh no!
Okay.
Oh.
Is that like-
I didn't even go there, Dyer. I didn't even go there.
God.
And you know that's not
Sweet
right.
home
Sucio,
Alabama.
puerco. No.
Crack producer out.
No, but it was a good time.
Alongside
Tough tournament. Like my physical was definitely not.
What were you guys doing? Soccer. That's right.
Moving on. Moving
I
on.
forgot.
Moving on.
My bad.
Carajos.
Hey, Marco set me up for that. Look, Marco opened the door. I'm just walking in, bro. That's all I'm doing.
He's
right
a
now.
You literally just asked me how was the soccer tournament. Then you asked me, oh, what were you guys
I know. As I
doing?
said, oh, sorry, I forgot. Soccer tournament.
Bro.
But you're down south, cousins. Something was different happened. So I wasn't sure, bro.
Disney Hotel was right next by as well.
Disney guys own conspiracy theories too, you know. Marco's dying back there.
Are you
now.
good?
Oh man!
Drink that
So
coffee.
look, we have a lot to go over. Make sure you guys give us a like, a follow. All that good stuff is down in the description down below. It goes a long, long way. And let us know when you want to come on the bench. Come share your voice. We want you here. We want some Chelsea fans to represent 10th place and the signing of Mudryk. We need some fucking City fans to.
Those exist?
He said mood dick.
Oh, I'm sorry. Is that not his name?
City fans exist? I didn't realize.
As you can see, I'm a little bit salty about that. We can get into that once the episode starts. But
I want
if-
some random
if-
fans
if
on
you-
here.
if
I want
you-
some West Ham fans. I want some Leicester fans. I want
Everton
some
fans.
random.
I want some Everton fans.
I want
on here.
some new fans.
That's true. That's
Someone
fair.
who's not Marco, who's a Leeds fan. I want.
Thank you.
You've been You've been
A
trying
real
to
one.
get you've been trying to get Chelsea fans on here when they do good. What makes you think they're gonna come here when they're doing bad?
Yeah, you're right. You're right. That's a fair point.
Because
That's
they got to
a fair point.
support their club to win through.
That Let's get Todd Bowley. Todd Bowley.
you
Todd
have a-
Bowley.
He joined Spaces.
Huh?
He joined
I
Twitter
know what I'm
Spaces,
saying.
so
We have better chances of getting him on here.
We gotta get Nick to start hosting Twitter
There you
Spaces.
go.
He
There
might
you
join.
go.
He
Come
might
on,
join.
Pod, baby. Todd Bowley.
Wait, so the Twitter space he joined was like a random Twitter space?
It was a random Twitter space. It was a pretty big Chelsea fan account. He has like around like 150K followers, but he did join, and there was around like 11 to 12,000 listeners, and
And he joined.
he was listening. Yes.
That's the new recruitment policy. Go on Twitter and just see what people are talking
That's
about.
the
That is
best.
funny.
That's the best place.
That's the best, yeah, for real.
Of all
Oh,
places,
man.
Twitter.
All right, so is there anything you guys want to mention or get off your chest before we get into the episode? It's been a week, so a lot has happened since then. Nothing.
I think
No?
I'm ready.
All right, so my opening question for you guys is, and okay, what's this is the old one. What's black and white but red all over?
Is this a football question? Or
It's just a
is it-
question. Just a question. Black and white and red all over.
I mean, this is right here in front of me, the United banner.
Okay. Yeah.
I second that.
Okay, when you say black and white, the color, or like
What's
black and white.
black
in
and
terms of-
white and red all over?
Is it the answer like supposed to be like newspaper or something?
It is. Tottenham, baby, all day. Let's go!
I'm so confused.
Just
Black and
zoom-
white.
Just zoom in
Yeah,
on
more
it.
blue and white, but black and white,
okay.
and then red's all over.
Oh,
You
okay,
know?
okay.
Come on, bro. Did you not watch the London Derby this week?
This
I
is-
did.
Marco, this is when you just zoom in on host my space.
Let's get
Over
into
here,
it. Sorry, dog. I just had to, man. Look, man.
No, you didn't. You wanted to.
Did you hear the new song?
No.
I sent it to you guys in the chat. You fucking ignore me all the time.
I did not hear the new song.
I have it. I had it memorized, but I had to.
I
get
guess
the
we
video
all
down,
ignore
so-
him.
No, I sent it to the Gunners chat, so
Yeah.
you were not seeing it. But let me see if I can pull it up real quick. Which I
sent it
can.
to the future Premier League winners chat. You wouldn't.
Yeah, this is-
How did you know? How did you know
First
that
on
was
mine.
called?
Is this it?
Okay, yeah, okay, here we go. Okay, so I'm gonna try to sing it for you guys, okay? Antonio, are you listening? I fucked up already. Antonio, are you listening to the song that we're singing? We're 14 in front, you Italian cunt, walking in the Mecca Wonderland. Love it. I love it.
Yeah, that would definitely send Antonio out, honestly. And he-
Well, look, we'll get into the Tottenham because there's a lot of rumors surrounding your club right now.
yes, there is.
Depending how you look at it, could be good.
Or it could be bad.
So we'll definitely tackle that. But I think we should kind of start off with the relegation scraps that happened this weekend because we have a big relegation battle coming up this weekend, which we'll predict down the road. Are we doing the points now or at the end?
Let's do it right now.
Zoom in. All right.
Yeah.
So what games did we predict, and then who got the points?
So we predicted Spurs versus Arsenal. Predicted Brighton versus Liverpool. And we predicted United versus City. So for Spurs versus Arsenal, Eric and Marco got 1 point for predicting an Arsenal win.
We're the only ones that said that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think they got ties.
Oh no, sorry. I put it here. Sorry. I did put it down on the paper.
Gang,
No,
gang.
look. Let me show Gat. I did put one. It's a very small one, but yeah, you as well.
No, that's a point. That's a
It
die.
is
It's pen dropped in that point. And now he's saying it's a one.
Remember, I will never predict a Spurs win. So
For Brighton, Liverpool, Dyer and Eric. Yes. Oh no, you see? I keep saying it.
Bro.
It's because
Yeah,
I don't know what it is.
right.
Honestly.
Chicken
Nervous,
scratch,
he's
bro.
nervous.
Chicken
No,
scratch,
Are you
bro.
dyslexic?
I might be, but either way though, it's on a paper, so it's official.
that's
I'm
two for
sorry.
two for anyone who's counting.
You are right. Dyer, Gat, and Eric both predicted a Brighton. Is it win?
Yeah.
And then United versus City. Actually, let me check it.
Don't worry, we'll double check.
Diego and Gat
Damn, so you got all three then.
got 1 point. You did get all three, Gat.
Oh, wow. What did I say?
So that
I
leaves
said a draw.
Game
I
week-
think we also draw. one of
yeah,
those four.
game
Yeah.
week 19 recap or roundup. Gat with 3 points, Dyer, Diego, Marco with 1 point, Eric with 2, and then myself with 0.
Damn, Nick.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I got 0 the last game week as well. Let me see.
Well, look,
See, actually.
you can take
Oh, yeah, go
some solace in knowing that at least You got 0, and Cody Gapko has 0 goals as well. So it's a good start to the introduction right there. So
Hey, you can bring all the Gakpo slander I want.
chill. We'll get into that a little bit. But all right. So a few relegation games that shouldn't have gone this way, but maybe, depending how you look at it, Wolves beating West Ham, Everton losing at home to Southampton. These two teams are in the mud. Was this what you guys expected from the weekend from these guys?
Let's see. I mean, I didn't get to see the matches, but West Ham, no. Everton, yes.
At home to Southampton?
Yes.
Damn. I mean, it was a Ward-Prowse worldy display.
Like if
Ward-Prowse from open play. Because now Ward-Prowse apparently is taking up a new position. They're playing 2 defensive midfielders, which allows Ward-Prowse to be higher up as more of a number 10. Scores an open play goal, and then scores a beautiful free kick as fucking James Ward-Prowse does.
Yeah.
there's actually a video of when Southampton got the free kick, Pickford got mad and he kicked the post before he took the free kick. Is that from this game or was it from before?
Probably.
Could have been.
Could've
been.
Probably.
That shit
Makes
was
sense.
that shit was funny because it was like Pickford knew what was about to happen
Yeah.
and he didn't move.
Honestly, I think a lot of people always know what's going to happen when
Yeah,
he
yeah.
when he steps up to a dead ball. It's very rare that he actually doesn't score for one.
I wish I wrote down the stats, but how would you guys rate James Ward-Prowse's free kick amongst the best of the best?
I would rate it pretty high up.
He's got to be top. I mean,
right now,
dude barely misses.
Top 2 probably.
I think he's better than Ronaldo ever
in
was.
Europe.
Cristiano, CR7?
Yeah, I mean, ever since
I
Ronaldo.
think in terms of the technical aspect of it, I think he places it well. With Ronaldo, it's just more.
Power.
I mean, it's
Power.
power, but it's the
Power
way
like a ball.
the way the ball drops though. When it's
How many times did it really happen? Though?
yeah.
If I had to compare it with somebody, I would say maybe similar to Messi, just with the right foot. That's all.
Yeah.
Because the bend is so
Yeah.
it's
Yeah,
nice
it's-
and
yeah. It's the
sometimes it's
placement.
either low or it's in top bends, but it's always on target.
Places it wherever you need to
Yeah.
place it, way out of
Yeah.
the reach of the goalkeeper. So I mean, look, credit to Ward-Prowse. So let's see if he gets his move. Because Southampton are also in the relegation battle, right?
Yes.
They
They
won.
are.
They won a football game, but they're still last.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. So they're all tied on points now. 15, 15, 15, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, Southampton are last. Yeah, West Ham,
Yep.
Everton, Southampton both on
Jeez,
15.
man.
With
Yep.
Southampton, though, if they do get relegated, they have a lot of talented players, so it'll be interesting to see if they can keep them. I mean, they'll probably
No
keep some of them,
shot.
but they'll probably get picked apart. Like Romeo Lavia,
Well,
a couple others.
If
speaking, what's up?
no, I was gonna say if Southampton were to get relegated, Ward-Prowse would be the first one to.
Oh,
Yeah,
absolutely.
To go.
I think I think he's even this summer. How old is he?
I think he's like 26, 27.
So he's like in the midst of his prime.
I'll check.
But while you guys pull that up, speaking about keeping players if you get relegated, that video of Yerry Mina interacting with the Evertonians.
It's 28.
Wow. What's your guys' thoughts on that? One, are the fans, do they have a right to even do that, come at him like that? And two, did he understand what they were saying?
Well, I actually do. I'm pretty sure. I have a feeling he understood some part of it because he was saying, "Yes, I give a shit about the club," but it's very risky from him, though. Very killable.
To say that, and then if
Yeah.
he leaves,
Like just standing out in front of the open,
Yeah.
just like your club's in a relegation battle, you can easily
just
get.
for context,
Yeah.
the board were told to stay away from the game for safety concerns.
Wasn't one of their board members strangled?
I wouldn't be surprised, honestly.
Like I'm pretty sure I saw it on Twitter, and I'll have to check to
Really?
confirm.
That was nuts.
But either way, from Yerry Mina, I mean, I have to give him respect, obviously, because a lot of
He
players don't
handled
do
it.
that.
Yeah,
and he's
he
not even
handled it
he's not
well.
even a born
It's
and
not even
bred.
good. Oh, sorry.
He's not even a born and bred like Scouser, and he came from Barcelona, I believe. And I mean, a lot of balls for him to do that. And then I said in the chat, at least for the Everton fans, I kind of give respect for them for not really lashing out. It could have been very easily for just any fan to just yell over the top, start being very like touchy, handsy with the player and whatnot. So I think the Everton fans addressed it correctly in a correct manner.
yeah, that's honestly what I was expecting. As
Yeah.
soon as I started watching the video, I expected it to turn into something crazy. But no, yeah, it was handled well.
Wow. So to kind of answer what Nick was saying, Everton chief executive Denise Barrett was put in a headlock as she left Goodison Park director's box. Sources claim.
And I
So
assume
she-
by Everton supporters.
And
So.
that's
Wow.
a female too. So on top of that, it's damn. That's
Hey, they were
crazy.
told to stay home.
They were told to stay home. Women never listen, bro. I'm kidding. I'm not Andrew Tate. All right, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. If you guys haven't watched,
Andrew Schultz over here, bro.
oh my god, yo, I'm gonna
Just be careful when you order pizza, bro.
I'm gonna get canceled.
Just be careful when you order
I'm
pizza.
just kidding. I'm just kidding. Have you guys seen that? Just completely sidetracked. But have you seen the Andrew Tate on Vice? I sent it to you guys in chat. Obviously, ignore me again.
I
But
saw it.
I just asked if you saw it. You said,
Listen, I was away. I have an
I said
excuse.
yes the first time you asked yesterday.
"Oh, yo, how crazy is it?"
Bro, I clicked on it, bro. I was like, oh, okay, it's gonna see something quick. 45 minutes,
Dude,
It's a
it
45 minutes
is
video, but
scary.
bro, and the fact
It's
that those
scary.
guys paid $5,000.
Dude, it's scary knowing the kind of people that are influenced and actually follow this guy to this day. So
So what was the video that you sent? Sorry.
it's Andrew Tate. It's a Vice documentary on him and all of his
This
shenanigans.
is before he was arrested, but like
Oh,
right
okay.
before, like maybe like a month or so before he was arrested.
Yeah.
It was around the time that he got canceled.
Oh,
So maybe
okay.
a little more than that.
Gotcha.
It's,
No,
it's crazy.
only because I just saw a video on Instagram where a bunch of his followers in Greece were
Yes, they're trying to get him out of jail.
Yeah, that was pretty
chanting
cringy.
free what grade G something
Free
The
top G.
top G. Like I'm gonna know that shit.
I mean, yeah, I'll go back quick. Drop G.
Yeah, so sorry for that side for that comment. I'm not Andrew Tate. It was a joke, and yeah, watch the documentary so that way people can get some actual knowledge on what's going on behind the scenes. But yeah, look, so Everton, West Ham in the mud. I'm gonna ask you guys real quick: who's getting sacked first, and who's actually gonna get relegated?
I think at this point, it's probably going to be Moyes.
Really?
At this point,
Yeah, after
At this point,
last season's
especially
performance.
especially because
And
just now we're starting to see shortlists for manager replacements
Mhm.
for West Ham. We have yet to go
Who are the
see
names?
anything. It was I know Poch is on there, Tuchel's on there.
Ooh.
I believe Rafa Benitez is on there if I'm not
Mhm.
mistaken.
Him
Ooh,
too.
Dude, they're going backwards right now at this point. if they
With
pick
Rafa
up-
And,
Benitez-
Espiritu Santo I think might be on there too
Yeah, him too.
Might
for
be
West
interesting.
Ham. So I'm pretty
Well,
sure if
I,
I'm not
s- I
mistaken.
saw a tweet that if they were to lose to Everton this weekend, he would get sacked, which is very weird. Like, if you're going to sack someone, like, they're going to lose another game inevitably. Just sack him now.
Well, maybe given that it's FA Cup weekend, they have more time to
Oh, yeah, maybe.
get
Yeah.
the
Find a
manager.
replacement.
Yeah.
If I sorry, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say for now that you're talking about coaches and availability, I was gonna say for any top team right now that is looking to maybe like sack somebody, don't forget Luis Enrique's out there too.
He wouldn't go West Ham.
No, I'm saying I said big team.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
I mean,
sorry.
Everton are a big team.
Yeah.
Are they?
History
Technically speaking,
and financially speaking, yeah.
they're a big team.
Technically.
Yermina from Barcelona, De La Fell from
Yeah.
Barcelona,
That's true.
a couple others.
No, what I was gonna say to answer your question, Moyes to get sacked first, but Everton to get relegated.
Mm.
That'd
Only
be great.
yeah.
Not even from like a biased Liverpool, but like if I'd love to see Everton get relegated. Just
Me too.
I want to see like a big team get relegated.
I agree with you on that.
Like, I just want to see what happens. Like I'm sure they'll turn into turmoil. Everyone will
Oh, hell
leave.
yeah.
They'll lose
Sounds like a
shit ton
biased
of-
Liverpool fan.
What?
I mean,
Fair.
I wouldn't mind seeing the West Ham
Oh,
team go
yeah.
down, which is obviously a London team. But
I wouldn't mind seeing
You
both.
want Rice on a
Exactly. I want to raise on that
Don't
fucking.
say
you know,
too-
you feel me?
Don't say that too
Shut
loud.
up.
Don't say
no,
that too
we don't
loud.
want Declan Rice. He's bad. Don't talk to Aboli. He's bad. Do not go after him. Nobody wants him.
Why are you defending him? Don't you want Rice for your team?
I saw
Who,
a tweet.
who talking about rice? Like
Who's
rice
rice?
with chicken and rice?
Who's
Chicken
right?
and rice?
Yeah, chicken
Ricinho?
I'm mad as hell that in FIFA in career mode, fucking I can't buy Declan Rice because West Ham doesn't want to sell him to a rival team.
What are you talking about? Who's Declan Rice? I don't know this guy.
All right, you can
I
say
saw-
with that shit.
I saw a tweet. I forget it was the other day where the conspiracy. I guess I don't know if it's a conspiracy theory or not, but you guys were smart to try to go after Mudryk because now that lowers Chelsea's budget because now they've already splashed 100 on him and now you guys can potentially go for someone who may or may not be called Ricinho.
I saw that too because
Shit was
now
hilarious. That was
and
hilarious.
because of the financial fair play rules that are constantly changing, apparently are becoming more stricter. So Todd Bowley and the Chelsea board are doing what they can now and obviously overspending because they know they won't be able to do it in the future as well. So many conspiracy theories. Apparently Fabrizio Romano also involved in
Fucking
jacking the
fraud.
price up and getting a commission out of it. Yeah, he on his YouTube channel he put, "I didn't do it, guys. It's illegal." I'm like, well, that's gonna stop anybody, of course, right? But whatever. That's neither here
Fraud.
nor there.
I forgot the number, but apparently Chelsea club itself spent more money than 5 or 4 leagues, top leagues, combined.
Dude, if I'm
It's
mistaken, maybe you know
ridiculous.
this, but they spent more money than Liverpool have in the past 10 years.
That's
5 years?
that's
5 years.
ridiculous,
Dude,
dude.
and they're in 10th
Like,
place.
They're in 10th place, and all these players are injured too.
Yeah, and they still have in Kuku coming in next season.
But that's true.
Now they got Mudryk.
That's true.
That they could have dropped Philly. I mean, since we're on the topic of Chelsea, there's actually a very interesting Twitter account called Swiss Ramble, around 200,000 followers, and he's known to make like financial, I guess, Twitter threads. And he actually asked the public if he wants to make one if Chelsea actually breached financial fair play rules, and so we could see in a couple of days if they actually did or if they did not. So it'd be interesting to see that. But
a
yeah,
couple of things that they didn't because they
They'll
got
just loan
players that
everybody
were
out.
younger that they could account for their academy, so it doesn't really affect the first
Yeah.
team.
I have a feeling they didn't. They just did some bullshit.
They'll
like-
probably just loan out like 50 players and then that'll even it out.
And regardless, if they did, what's gonna happen? They'll slap on the wrist and pay a little fine, and there you go. But you know what? All I can say is Mudryk went to a club that was built on the back of a Russian oligarch, so that's what you're representing. So good job.
And now they're supporting Ukraine now all of a sudden, so they can't even decide whose side of the war they
Now,
want to be.
there's political like theories right now going
Yeah, I
on.
saw
Between,
that.
so I mean, I don't know. You guys already saw my reaction. I was furious about that transfer because I sat here, was it last week or 2 weeks ago, saying that we're gonna have a new signing and that new signing is gonna be Mudryk, and I had no doubt in my mind about that, and I was just backstabbed. I really felt like I was backstabbed.
You know what's funny about that thing is that everyone said, it'd be so typical for Chelsea to hijack the signing, but I feel like everyone in their mind actually didn't think that would happen. But
No.
it actually happened.
Yeah, and you saw the rumors of it happening, like, oh, it's gonna happen, but then it didn't happen. It was like, okay, it didn't happen, but then when it happens, like, oh shit, yeah, it was gonna happen. It was gonna happen. But I mean, looking back at it, I'm kind of happy we didn't overspend, even though apparently the amount was the same. It's just the wage package was a little bit different. But I'm just salty as to how everything went down, and I got excited. Granted, it doesn't have that many appearances, but the excitement was there. So I'm a little hurt about that. But let's move on. Let's move past the relegation scrap that happened this past weekend, because we do have to go into that later on. Chelsea did beat Crystal Palace 1-0. I mean, just shitty display, but if you want to call it, what did you guys think about the game? Did you watch it?
And I did not watch it.
I watched it because I wanted to see his reaction.
I got a glimpse of it.
It was just not entertaining. It really wasn't, honestly. But that's Chelsea for you. Let's get into the Manchester. So, all right, I'll give you guys the option. I'm gonna give. I don't know, because we can get into two different games. Both these games are fucking good, man. You have the Brighton Liverpool game and the Manchester Derby. Do you want to see the derbies for last, and then we'll get into Brighton Liverpool first?
Sure.
All right, so Brighton Liverpool first. Nick, I'm gonna I'll give you the ground right now, so you can just let out any frustrations you have. Give us your breakdown of the game, and then we'll banter you afterwards.
How great was Henderson?
Phenomenal.
Henderson.
Oh man,
Sensational.
sensational.
I just blanked. I'm sorry.
I don't blame you.
So,
I would
so
blame
did
you
Liverpool.
too.
So did Liverpool. It's okay.
Someone asked me a
It's
question.
okay.
All right, so my first question to you is Klopp's stubbornness causing this run of bad form for you guys?
I do think it's Klopp's stubbornness. If I were to actually put in a percentage, I'd say it's probably 65 to 70%. In terms of why Liverpool, because I mean, if you look at it, yes, players are underperforming individually, but like if you look at that back line, like it's individually, it's very good players. They should not be underperforming the way they are now. So I think if you look at that, I think you actually have to put the blame on the manager. And that's why I like giving respect to managers. What I have seen this season, like Ten Hag and Arteta, who identify issues within their squad and their tactics and are able to adjust accordingly to give their team the best opportunity to go out there and win. And that's what I feel like Klopp is not doing, because he's just sticking with his 4-3-3 and thinking, like, it's interesting because the other day, like, he came out with quotes that, oh, my players aren't making tackles or my players aren't winning duels. Well, maybe because if your players aren't winning duels because A, they physically declined, and then B, you haven't changed the system to help them win physical duels because they just physically can. They just obviously declined. 5 years of grueling club football.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty obvious they physically declined. Fabinho, Henderson. Yeah. And so if you see players like that doing that, why don't you come up with a system to protect these players? And that is just not what he is doing. He's sticking with his 4-3-3. Thiago pressing as a 10, which is just like bizarre. And then obviously the likes of Jordan Henderson still playing and still regularly starting. And I mean, to give Brighton credit, it was just
No Trossard, no problem.
Yeah, he's kinda fucked up for doing what he did too.
But yeah, no, Zarbi ball. What
Yo.
can you say? What can you say? You know,
Like,
like the fact that Liverpool made Adam Lallana look like prime Zidane from '98 France, it just says it all. Like Adam Lallana, like Henderson played with this guy like for over 7+ years. You
Mhm.
know, and his back end of his Liverpool career was terrible, and they made this guy look like a world beater.
so good, so good.
Absurd. What else is there to say?
Talk about Gakpo because it sounds like you're
Oh,
not too fond of him right now.
No, not really. In terms of where he's playing, I don't think he's a sole number 9 just because he doesn't make
not.
runs in
He's a
behind.
winger, bro. He's a winger.
I don't think he makes runs in behind. I don't think he's slow. Obviously, I'd expect for him to be slow, unless there's some physical specimen like Holland who can jump off quickly. But he is 6'4", 6'5". His link up and his combination play is really good. Like he's very clean technically for his height, which I'm very surprised. I mean, but overall though, like the lack of pace just worries me. There's no explosiveness. I saw a tweet saying he's the most anti-Klopp player or attacker that he signed, which is very true. I mean, if you go look at Klopp's past attacker signings, they're all explosive. Salah, Mane, Diaz, Nunez, Jota. So it's just very odd for Klopp to identify a player like this and say he suits him. But I mean, we'll see though. I think he's a decent squad player.
I know this is a very easy dig, and it's not even a dig, honestly. It's just more of a question I have for you because obviously I think the noise about it kind of fell off, but I'm starting to see it come up again. How much are you missing Mane?
Sorry.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
If you're talking about Mane from last season, I'd say you definitely miss him. Obviously, he's a character in the dressing room. He wouldn't have needed time to adapt because obviously he's been in the team for 4+ years, 5+ years. But I don't think Liverpool are missing Mane that much. I think Liverpool are much more missing a midfielder. I actually think like the notion that Liverpool are missing Mane, I think it's more a discredit to Mane's prime himself in 2018 through 2020, when I believe he was a top 4, top 5 player in world football. But I mean, if you were to look at Liverpool's problems now and think that Mane is the reason why they're playing poorly, I highly disagree.
Maybe it's kind of crazy to look at this because I mean Mane leaves, yeah, of course it's bound to happen, and I think Luis Diaz is a decent enough replacement for him.
Yeah.
But Mohamed Salah, after he signed that extension, kind of like how Aubameyang, Ozil, they got the money and just kind of declined. I'm not saying that Salah's not trying because I feel like he is, but it's just not clicking for him right now.
Yeah, I mean his goal and assist ratio is still really healthy, but I think it's spread out through a couple games, like his Rangers game, hat trick, and then a couple other games that have been spread out. So I don't think he's having a terrible season. If I were to rank it like 6.5, 7, I mean it's just he's just having a very average season.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, just a lot of players underperforming, and like the midfield is just so jarring to watch. Like it's a bit like like how United pre Casemiro was like horrible. Like as soon as if United weren't have to sign Casemiro, if they were to sign some good defensive midfielder, it would have still looked like such a revival of their midfield because they just need a player like that so badly. And I believe Liverpool, if they were to sign a pure ball-winning, duel-winning player like Caicedo, Moises Caicedo, to come into the team, it'd look that much of a revival of the team.
There's rumors about him already going to
Chelsea.
Chelsea
Chelsea are front runners.
But let's talk about Brighton real quick, man. This Zerbi ball, man. This guy, I think, is not only matched what Potter did, but I think he's raising the level now.
I think Brighton as a whole, I mean, I think can we all just put them up there as like one of the well-run clubs in the Prem? Because I mean, they lose. It's before before De Zerbi, they lose Basuma. They lost Ben White. They lost Dan Burn
and
also.
Maupay.
They lost Maupay. Potter still did the business. They brought in They brought in Caicedo, Estupiñán. Great. They lose Potter, and now look what Potter's doing. And De Zerbi just comes in. It was seamless. It was seamless. You almost couldn't tell that they lost Potter because it's the same.
I feel they got better.
It's the same exact type of play style, but yes,
it's more efficient, more
clinical. So are you saying it's not mostly the manager but the team?
It's a club. It's a well-run club.
It's a well-run club. From top to bottom.
I would actually go as far as to say, like, considering money and financial everything involved, overall, they're probably the best run club in the Premier League.
It's hard not to. I mean, for a team that just came up from the championship, how long ago?
3 seasons, I think.
To be where they are right now, where are they in the table right now?
They're in 7th.
7th, correct. Yeah.
So that's European competition. That's Europa Conference League.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Dude,
I would love to see them in Europe.
that's amazing.
Yeah. And Brighton also isn't a team like, for example, Everton who have a rich history, or Aston Villa who have a rich culture and history throughout about 100 years. Like Brighton are kind of similar to Bournemouth, where they don't really have much of a fan base, and so just to see a team like that just scout incredibly well, like Moises Caicedo, like to pick him up from, I believe he went from Ecuador to Belgium, some team named Bars, something like that. But either way, just to be able to identify a talent like that,
Yeah.
and if they do able to sell him 70 million plus pounds easily.
And then just
Crazy.
the crazy shift in how they play. Because last season, when you would go up against Brighton, I mean, you guys know this. It was you knew you were going to go into a very grueling and tough match. It's going to be a low block. They may or may not hit you on the counter. This season, not only are they still good at the back, but now they're just offensively they just drastically changed. So now they're a threat on both sides.
And to Nick's point, when he said Thiago was pressing a team that knows how to break the press and knows how to play out of the press. So, and that's a weakness, I think, of Liverpool right now. With such a high line, if you're playing against a team that can break a press, they're going to get in behind you left and right.
Just the whole high line thing. Like, I'm sure if Liverpool were able to actually be able to acquire players who are able, or midfielders more specifically, to play in a high line, Klopp will continue with that high line of his defense. But since he doesn't have those players,
I think he had those players, and he still thinks that they're the players.
Exactly. And just like for him to keep pursuing with that high line is just footballing suicide, to say the least. It's incredible, obviously, to view. But
so, you're Spurs, you're United, you're Liverpool, we're Arsenal. What's one Brighton player taken from that team?
I already said mine.
Caicedo?
Yeah.
Caicedo. I mean, I would probably say McAllister.
McAllister, yeah.
Only reason is because like he's an attacking minded player, and he provides in the midfield, passes, like something that I feel like Spurs needs.
Like an old school Eriksen.
Yeah.
I like that. Who you thinking?
Probably Matoma.
You took mine. I wanted the PhD.
Mitoma.
His story's pretty cool.
I like
man.
his story. Yeah,
his story's pretty cool.
Yeah.
He actually got. I'm not sure if he actually did get a PhD. Did he get a PhD? Or is that
I don't
just
think
like,
it's a PhD.
but he did a thesis, right, on the art of dribbling and beating defenders one on one. And I think we've seen that already.
Wasn't it like just like 2-3 years ago that he was actually doing this?
In
And now all of a
university.
sudden he's
He said no to I think a professional contract, and then went to go to college and did this thesis. And I mean, he looked phenomenal against Arsenal. He looked great against Liverpool.
He just looks good. And he played for Japan in a World Cup, and he looked good in there too.
Yeah, so I'm excited to see the development of this kid. Although he is a little older already. He's like 25.
He is 25.
So you would think that a player like this would have came onto the scene a lot sooner. But it being his first season kind of exploding, do you think this is just a purple patch? Or do you think, okay, no, there's actually something here with this kid?
I don't think it's a purple patch. His underlying numbers are there.
Yeah.
Ever since the restart, he's been putting in the work.
Yeah.
So for at least for right now, it's not a purple patch.
Okay.
And I also saw in his thesis that his
You found it?
No, I don't think it's on the internet, unfortunately. I'm sure it'll come about soon. I remember there was one for, I believe it was Andrea Pirlo's thesis or something like that for Juventus. But either way, I'm sure it'll come up soon on the internet. But I believe his whole philosophy on dribbling was if you're able to shift your defender's weight to one side, you basically have the advantage.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, if you look at his game also, he isn't very explosive, but he is very manipulative.
Yeah.
And so,
His hips don't lie, man.
Yeah.
Speaking of hips don't lie, Shakira, Piqué.
yeah.
We'll get to that drama later on.
Now,
That's just so funny.
now you know never to buy jam.
JM?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Jam.
Jam.
Oh, I just said JM. Like, what,
No, Jam.
Jam.
Yeah.
That's funny.
That's hilarious.
That's hilarious. All right, now let's get into the anything else on Brighton, guys? Anything else you want to get off?
Just Brighton. Not only just Brighton, but like usually top 8 is from what we've seen in history. You realize who the top 8 should be, but the fact that only half of those that we usually assume, the other half, Newcastle, who are in top 4, Fulham, who are in 6th, Brighton 7th, and Brentford, always creeps up in there. So it's kind of I like to see that. I like to see that.
It's good to see that other teams are starting to be managed well. Other clubs be managed well. It's always been the top 6 because of the money. They can just buy everybody they want. Now it's actually becoming down to recruitment. It's not about having luxury players; it's about having actual team players.
Mm-hmm.
So it's great to see that the evolution of football. That's why I think in the World Cup you're seeing a lot more even play now.
Even,
It's not the top teams like always anymore. It's no,
Mm-mm.
there's actual statistics behind everything now. So it's awesome to see that. I think that's actually a good little side episode we should do one day. The change in football, because it always has been the top dogs, and now it's changing.
Yeah, we were supposed to have a conversation about past versus present.
Yeah.
I think it was last week, but we just ended up just doing one recording. But I think once we get to the break, I think that should be one definitely a conversation we should have.
I mean, just a quick question: do you think any Premier League can afford to have a luxury player in their team if you want to challenge for the title?
Like any Premier League team?
Yeah. Like, do you think if you're trying to challenge for the title, do you think you can afford to have a luxury player in your team? For example, and I'm gonna give my example in Ozil. You know he can perform whenever he can, but he's not gonna give you the off the ball work, the defensive work, but he'll create something for you in the final third. Do you think a lot of teams can afford that nowadays?
Probably not, to be honest. With teams players just scientifically or evolutionally, I don't think that's a word, but just getting stronger and evolutionary, just getting stronger and physically faster. But I do want to go back to the point where you said teams are getting stronger, like at the World Cup. And if you look at some of the players, like even around the world's continents, I think if you look at Africa's continent, you have players from the northwest, south, and east of the continent of Africa, just from the west, and then from the north in Morocco and Algeria, and then from the south, even South America. If you go look at Paraguay with Almiron, and then Ecuador with Casero, Estupiñán, etc. I think everywhere around the world, you're starting to see actual players who become stars. So
that's a good guy. We should probably
Canada as well now.
Yeah,
and not even just a team, but I'm talking about like just players who are actually
Individually.
incredible, like star players. You know?
Yeah, Norway has
Norway.
two
Yeah,
big
Norway.
players, Odegaard and Holland.
destroying the Premier
Yeah.
League right now.
Yeah.
Eastern Europe will probably develop like as that as well. So
Interesting conversation we should have down the road. Join us for that. Let us know what we should talk about. And if you want to have any opinion on that, please, the bench is free for you guys. Now let's get into the Manchester Derby. Look, I have a conspiracy theory. All right.
Should we wear?
If you want, up to you guys.
Is
It's not really a conspiracy theory. It's kind of obvious if you ask me.
That was in the VAR room.
No. That I find it funny that Howard Webb is now is pretty much the head honcho of the PGMOL, so he has the final say. And it so happens to be that Rashford non-interference still stood. So, I mean, all I'm saying is United starting to get some calls go their way. They've already the PGMO already came out and said that the goal against us shouldn't they scratched our goal off, should have actually stood. Then you have this Rashford incident. I don't know. If you ask me, Howard Webb is doing things behind the scenes that are helping the club that he's infamously known for supporting.
Money talks, bro. Money talks.
All right. Let's talk about this game.
wait, but first, have we all seen that picture of Rashford being removed or photoshopped out?
I was gonna mention
seen
that.
Yeah, I've seen it, dude.
You can't
Let's talk about that.
I haven't seen that.
can judge that play off of that picture because no, you cannot because
that
picture-
What's your stance on this?
it was not offside.
Oh, good God!
It wasn't definitely outside.
Oh my
It's a
God!
God.
Okay, that
It's
smirk is
no
giving it
smile.
away. Yeah, no, you can't believe that.
He slowed down the defender.
Let's come on.
He
Like,
slowed down the defender
he was
and he
in
threw
front-
Ederson off.
You don't think Ederson would have came out regardless?
No, because his defender's right there catching the ball.
He wasn't gonna catch up to that ball. Even if that's why with this picture,
Kyle Walker's like significantly closer to the football.
but that was a Kanji running after the ball. The ball
Okay, but even
that
so,
picture
though.
that still picture doesn't tell you like just how fast the ball is going, the trajectory of the ball. Like Akanji was never gonna catch that ball even if Rashford was not there.
Bro,
Oh no,
He wasn't
he
gonna catch
would
up
have
to that.
stopped it even if it was a penalty. At least it was a penalty. But Rashford stopped that defender from making it to that ball
Yeah.
and to changing the whole thing. It could have been him cleaning, grabbing it clean, taking it off of Rashford's foot, knocking him out, making it a penalty, or even Ederson getting into it. But no, Rashford is standing there, fucking slow down the
Literally
defender.
acting like he was
Obstructing.
gonna shoot it,
Like, I
acting
don't
as if he was gonna take a shot. He was
I don't
literally
know,
swinging and then pulled out.
If he would have never made the run or stopped before, then I'll be like, all right, whatever.
Is he
But
good,
he
what, like,
stopped right next to
two-
the ball.
Dude, Rashford was literally about to shoot the ball, and then he saw Bruno's like, "Oh, let me get out of the way." No, yeah, you can't really believe that.
It's also not the first time that this kind of
What
call
is
has
that, good
happened.
3 feet away from the ball.
I
It's
guarantee
Manuel
you,
Akanji.
if this shit happened in the World Cup where Ghana did that shit against Uruguay, guy would have been like, "It's fucking offside. It's offside." That prevented us going.
By the rules, not offside.
If you
By
have
the rule, it's
the
not offside.
intent, if you have the intent and be that close to the ball and obstructing other
Yeah.
players, it
I
is
don't
offside.
think I don't think he obstructed anybody. That's why. Because I still don't. Because he was in
As
front
a-
of the. He
as
was
a
he was
defender,
behind the defense.
dude.
The defense was never going to
He was
catch
in
up to him.
front of the
As a
defender.
defender,
I mean, he was-
if there's a
he
player
got him
running in
behind.
front of you who's running onto the ball, about to shoot it, that influences you to do one thing over the other. That's interference. He's literally controlling what Akanji's doing. He's literally controlling what Ederson's doing, whether to come out or not.
He's controlling
He's
the entire
controlling
play.
Yes, he's controlling the entire play by running onto the ball, by pretending to shoot it, and then backing out at the last minute. Maybe not pretending to shoot it because he was actually going to shoot it. But then Bruno just came in out of nowhere, which, I mean, can't discredit Bruno. He did what he had to do.
followed the
Bruno
play.
was there. He finished it. That's all you can ask from Bruno. But to say that Rashford didn't interfere or influence anything out of that play, oh, man. If I was City, bro, I would be
Livid.
bro.
Livid.
It is offside. Like the goal should not have stood.
It shouldn't have.
He didn't interfere.
There have been so many times in the past where players they're not even remotely close
I
to
gotta
the ball,
find- I gotta-
and they will still get called offside.
I gotta find the Twitter clip I saw earlier, but there was a post that this similar type of play, it's happened before. I mean, I know there was one, Marco, you might remember it happened to Messi when he was at Barca, and he ended up getting the goal. I forget against what team it
Barcelona,
was.
what do you expect?
But it's not the first time. That's just the first one that pops to my head. But I gotta find the clip and send it to you guys.
Look,
Oh, you
Rashford-
talking about the one where Manchester just walks past it and Neymar comes from behind, just finishes it?
No,
Now that the
No,
Manchester
no.
stopped running because Messi was offside. I think I know what you're
Oh, I
talking
think-
about.
no.
Well,
It was a different one where Messi stops and the ball keeps going. And then
minute
it gets cut back into Messi. Okay, so then it is the same
that's
one.
the one. Yeah, all the minutes
There was
stopped.
there was another one in that same montage. It had Aubameyang also.
Dude.
If Rashford intentionally has to stop
That's what I'm saying, bro.
running because he's about to touch the ball because he knows he's offside.
Ah, dude, man.
I don't think he interfered with the play.
He definitely did.
He
I don't think he
definitely did.
interfered. I think even from if anything, it would be from it'll be with Ederson's point of view that it could have been interfered. But I think Ederson comes out for that ball regardless.
No.
Even but that's the thing, we don't know because Rashford was there to begin with. We will never know because Rashford was the one that was
Yes.
initially
Right.
running onto the ball.
I don't think Akanji ever gets to that ball if Rashford was not there.
I think
I don't think he
Listen,
gets
He
there.
makes it with
So
Zidane.
so to me, it's just a matter of does Ederson come out, and I think he does, because you see
That's so
Bruno.
different though because
It is
there's two
different.
players there.
You
There's
see
two
Bruno.
players
You
there.
see Bruno about to come onto the ball. If you're the goalie, you're gonna want to close down the angle to make it as difficult as possible.
Yeah,
so I
so
think
he's closing
I think
Rashford down.
I think Ederson still comes out though.
But he's closing Rashford down.
That was one of them that was in there.
There's two players.
I
That was one of them that I saw in the
Look
clip,
at Aaron
yeah.
Ramsey. Look at Aaron Ramsey. He does not obstruct the ball at all.
No, he just walks past it. And there's two players there, so you could play. One is onside, the other one's offside, but there's two players there.
I gotta find the clip and
Look,
send
De
it to you
Bruyne
guys.
doesn't even move.
Nah, they're just gifted. They're
Yeah,
basically
no,
gifted.
they're
Look,
looking for
we're
like
not
other
mad.
scenarios.
I mean,
We're not mad.
We're not mad because
It's not on us, so I don't care.
you're helping us at the end of the day. But for the long run,
Oh.
it's bullshit.
Yeah, if that happened to United, I
know you guys would be
100%
livid here.
It'd be like that's offside. That's offside. Because it's as a defender, as a goalkeeper, anything that the attacker in front of you does changes what you do.
Yeah.
It just does.
Again, you're stopping the defender that's behind Rashford to make it to the ball and create something.
Whether it be a foul, like Marco said, or some attack or anything, it changes the outcome 100%. But I mean, I don't blame you for not disagreeing with the.
watch it happen again this season with two different teams, and it's going to
Exactly.
be called offside.
Yeah.
Watch it happen.
Because that's
And
a
But that's
play
usually
that
what
you can see
happens.
happen.
And then watch it be like, what's the difference
Look,
between this and that?
It's gonna come back to the conversation of, well, a big team did it and they allowed it, but a small team got screwed.
I
And
told you.
That's
I told
usually
you.
how it goes.
Howard Webb. I'm telling you.
How much did you pay him to do that for United?
NDAs, sorry.
But even with that goal, it still would have been 1-1. And United, they were there to play, man. You guys showed up big time against Man City.
I mean, you can't blame it. You guys had a phenomenal game.
I saw the last 20 minutes of the game. So
talk to us about this impact that Eric Ten Hag is having on your team.
Yeah, as I told you guys on the last podcast, I was nervous, but it wasn't the usual kind of nervousness. It was more so because at the end of the day, it's City.
Yeah.
So no matter what, you go up against a team like them, something's bound to happen.
Mm-hmm.
They got the opening goal. The one time, and Fernando even said in the chat, the one time Fred switched off, and then KDB gets in behind, gets the cross in, and Grealish happens to be there.
And that's the difference between, I think, Fred and Casemiro. Casemiro switched on at all times, and I think we saw it today's game, which we'll talk about a little bit later. But
so it was. I mean, it was a fun game. It was a fun game to watch. I think. I mean, obviously, Ten Hag won when it came to the tactics. Most of City's team was just pocketed all freaking game. Yeah. It was absolutely great. One thing that I really want to praise Ten Hag for as well is for Aaron Wan-Bissaka.
Just turned him around,
dude. He was just not in the team for the longest. Normally, when that happens to a player, you start seeing rumors, they're going to leave, not getting play time, yada, yada, yada. It was different with Wan-Bissaka. He just kept his head down, worked hard, followed Ten Hag's plan of training, what have you, gets back in the team. He's like a completely different person. He had that side locked down.
There's something about Ten Hag that I'm really like. I'm terrified because I can see what he's doing right now, and I feel like it's the early vibes that I got with Arteta. And I feel like you guys are kind of entering that stage right now, like, oh shit, this guy is actually doing something with the team. And the reason I say that is because for him to sign the likes of Martinez, for him to have the likes of Sancho, he's literally sent them away to get in physical shape.
Be ready.
Be ready. That's what I'm saying. Like for him to like have these players, acquire these players, and still bench them, and play Luke Shaw at center back. Like this guy is a tactical
over
genius.
Who?
Over
Maguire,
Martinez.
over Lindelof. But this was also during the time when Martinez was just coming back and he wasn't playing yet. That's when Shaw started. But also that's also credit.
I only saw
but that's also credit to Luke Shaw, and it's also obviously a credit to Ten Hag because of the culture he's bringing. Because Luke Shaw actually went to Ten Hag. If I'm not mistaken, it was either the first game after the World Cup or it was that the League Cup or the League competition leading up to that game where he went to Ten Hag and said, "Hey, you need me? I'll play center back."
Yeah,
didn't play him at center back that first game, whichever game it was. But then the next 2-3 games in a row, he played him at center. He did phenomenally.
Yeah, dude. I mean, credit to Ten Hag for him to like have the getting the players that he wants and still bench him and put Luke Shaw in the middle and put Malacia on the flank. I mean, dude, he's doing the business.
Yeah, everyone had a great game. Malacia had a fantastic performance, pocketed Mahrez all freaking game, which was what I mean. We know how skilled Mahrez is. I was worried about him on that side, and Malacia did perfectly.
Who scored a goal for City?
Grealish.
Drop a header.
Bullshit goal.
The minute he walked in.
But any other comments on United?
No, I didn't watch the game.
Didn't?
I saw the last 20 minutes, and I was actually watching the game with my cousins, and we all agree it was offside.
Well, somebody who didn't, I don't even know they played this game was Haaland.
Oh, he played?
I know, right?
He put his boots on for this one?
Man, what is going on with this City team right now? I'm not saying that they're bad because they're in second place and Haaland has fucking 100 goals already, but
well, is it? I mean, Haaland has goals against what? I mean, I've yet to see him score against like the big clubs.
That is true. I mean, he did
get a hat trick the first round when they beat us 6-3.
But I don't think they've played that many big quote unquote. I don't think they've played Arsenal yet. They haven't played Tottenham yet.
No.
Tomorrow.
Tottenham is tomorrow.
They've only played it 3 times.
No, and I know Diego mentioned it last time on the pod, but they're reverting back to the old school City where everybody's just getting involved. That doesn't help Haaland at all.
Nope.
Because if everyone's getting involved, that means he's not getting the ball as often.
Haaland's a target person. Somebody just fucking put the ball to and let him do whatever he's got to do in the final third inside the box. So is this a symptom of just having a player that doesn't fit the system that's causing all this disarray? Or is it Pep not adapting to the player that he has and kind of feeding him or playing to his strengths?
I mean, you heard what he said.
I think it... What?
Wasn't this past one against Man United that he says that they're not winning the league. He doesn't care about the league. He doesn't care about.
That's more
Pep.
that's more salty.
That is
Pep
Yeah.
which I
losing a
think was
game.
hilarious.
I think it's Haaland not focusing on football and he's focusing on his modeling career right now.
Has GQ covers that for real.
It's kind of weird because Haaland comes in, he's at 21 goals already, but now all of a sudden they're reverting back to an old system. So it's just inconsistency. Like
Mhm.
he adapted the system to fit Haaland,
And it was
now
working.
And now I don't know if it's him intentionally going backwards to see if it could be done or if the players just want to
Well,
get a piece of the cake now. I don't know.
it could be like, players' contracts, like, they're promised to play this amount of games, this amount of minutes.
Oh,
So-
politics.
Yeah.
Damn, that's a conspiracy theory right there.
I think in my opinion, I feel like the notion on Holland has not ruined the team, but has made them worse. Which I mean, I could definitely see a point. Like if you were to compare this City side to their 17-18 City side with David Silva and Aguero and etc. I would definitely say with 100% that 17-18 City side was better. But I feel like the reason why City don't look like quote unquote cities because I think it's actually the defense, in my opinion. I know the COVID season, the 2020-2021 season, they were remarkable defensively. Like they would rarely concede goals. That partnership
Yeah.
of Ruben Diaz and Aymeric Laporte, John Stones, it was just impeccable. And then now I think you're starting to see not even City just concede leaky goals, but City to get actually got at, which is very rare to see them, especially under a Pep Guardiola team. So
Yeah.
I think the more focus should be on City's defense in terms of instead of
Mhm.
pinpointing it on Holland. Because although I do agree they may not be playing to Holland's strength or like what God said, Pep is trying to play where he's trying to get all his teammates involved or whatever. I think the more focus should be on the
Now,
defense.
are you saying defense like
Their back four.
the back four or like the defensive midfielders?
I mean, it
because Pep, like, he praised Ake, and we all know how Stones could be pretty good in his center back as well. I mean, Cancelo and Kyle Walker. I mean, it's a pretty good defensive line. I think it's defensive midfield where like that's
Rodri?
kind of get off.
I mean, it could be a combination of both, but at least in
Yeah,
my
I think
opinion,
is speaking strictly on just the back line. It could also be the chemistry because they are dealing with injuries. Only just now are Ruben Diaz and John Stones potentially going to
Forgot
come
about
back.
Ruben Diaz.
So I mean, yeah, they've been running with Ake and Akanji. Yeah, I mean, yeah, they're pretty good in their own right, but
Yeah.
it takes time to build that kind of chemistry, and then you have Walker and Cancelo constantly swapping sides, being dropped. Just the Sergio Gomez sometimes plays in for Cancelo, so it's just Pep doesn't really know who to start anymore. We're seeing a lot more Pep roulette than we have been in a while.
And the thing, the common misconception is because Haaland has like 20 plus goals already. He's like, oh, why aren't they winning? You can score as many goals as you want in the game. You're only getting 3 points at the end of the day. That's the most you can get per game.
Mhm.
So it doesn't matter how many goals you score. It's about scoring in each game, and which is something that I feel like has kind of fallen off on the Man City end. But
Well,
to your point, the back four is the culprit here. They're just leaky goals, and like God said, it is pretty much a brand new pairing in the center back position, and
Yeah.
we all know how important that is. You as a Liverpool
Mhm.
fan, you know how important that is. Van Dijk, and who was his partner for the most part.
Matip.
Steve Gomez. But either way, yeah,
It's
having
we
a,
all know that
cohesive center back
yeah,
pairing.
that
Yeah.
chemistry it's everything for the center back pairing. So yeah, I would agree with you guys. Defensively is probably where the light should be shown. Shined.
Shun, I think.
Shun?
I think it's Shun.
We get it.
I don't know. Nando,
Um,
Nando, let us know what the correct word is.
But yeah, so Manchester United win that game 2-1. Not a result I was expecting. Honestly, I think I should get the point. I put a draw. That Rashford's offside. I think I should get the point for that.
Yeah, same here.
Anything else in that game? Good
No.
to move on.
No.
Let's move on. Tottenham. Arsenal. First of all, fuck Spurs and their fans, not you specifically, but that guy that went on the fucking pitch.
No,
and kicked
no,
himself.
You got
fuck,
arrested.
no, fuck him. That's not necessary.
Nah,
Like, in
yeah.
any kind of whatever situation, why the fuck?
So before we get into the game, how do you guys feel about players giving it back to the fans? Are you for that? Are you against that? Do you think Ramsdale has some responsibility in this for that?
Was there any physical contact made between Arsenal players and said fans?
No.
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 Just
I
Van
think
kicked
it's
him in the back.
fine.
That's it.
I think it's fine. I mean,
So-
obviously, if who did the player kick? Ramsdale, right?
Ramsdale.
Mhm.
So
He-
the
or
whole
fan,
thing,
sorry.
the whole thing, I think came about. Richarlison
Fuck
arguing with Ramsdale for celebrating.
Push him in the
on-
face.
Yeah, he did. He
hate
also
him,
had
bro.
altercation with Tomiyasu.
Yeah. Yeah.
I didn't see any of this.
Yeah, but so the altercation started with Richarlison arguing with Ramsdale for celebrating on the Spurs side.
And all he did was
Which-
this. He walked away.
Yeah, I mean, look, it's banter.
banter.
It's banter.
What team has not done it? And I'm 100% sure that motherfucker has done it somewhere else.
Look, Ray Charleston was dancing in the World Cup the entire fucking time,
Right,
and
the,
he's
the,
over here
the same
getting
one
mad for
the same one he got kicked out of.
exactly, and he's over here getting mad at Ramsdale for kissing a badge after winning the Northern Derby. Like, get the fuck out of here, Ray Charleston. I'm sorry, I fucking hate that bird, motherfucker, bro.
Yeah. But yeah, that's where it came off of, and yeah, it should have never happened. It should have never happened. I think they should have like looked into like what Richarlison was
Yeah,
doing.
there should be some. I think the FA should also get involved, but you know they're not Arsenal, so they probably won't get anything. Against them. Only we do. But all right. So Dyer, I'm gonna give you the options. You were the home team. Do you want to go first?
I'll go first only because I didn't get to watch the game. I saw the highlights. Diego gave me a little bit of like insight of how the game went, and it just sounded like typical Spurs not coming in the first half. Arsenal
Just
dominating.
in the book.
Yeah, Arsenal dominating. I saw the goals. Like, what the fuck, Hugo Lloris? Like, I mean, you have an
Oh, it's a howler.
like I
So
don't.
he needs to retire from
I
club
really
football,
don't. I really
in
don't.
addition,
I really don't understand like how the fuck that happened. Like, and then the second goal, Odegaard, nice strike. It was a
Yeah.
good strike.
Should have just have gotten that.
Well, you were telling me it shouldn't have happened because Højbjerg and Sar messed up.
I blame more Højbjerg because
More
was
Højbjerg.
doing it with on his flank, and then Højbjerg just committed to, and then left
Okay.
keeping Horn.
Now, just so everybody knows, the reason why I didn't get to watch the game is because I had a game at that same time.
And you didn't want to watch the loss. I know.
What?
Didn't want to watch your team lose. I get it.
Sure.
Did you lose that day?
No, we tied 2-2.
Oh, okay. Just
And
better.
but I missed I missed 4 chances.
Oh God.
Nunez
I'm,
out
no,
here.
no, no, no.
He's trying
I'll explain that to you guys later. No, but I mean, like I saw the highlights. Arsenal, like I said, demanding the first half. Spurs always slacking on the first half, and then they come up strong in the second half. But god damn, Ramsdale played really well in goal. He stopped a lot of good shots, hard shots too. What?
9.
Yeah, like 7-8 saves, something like that.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. So, I mean, I gotta give my hats off to him because it was a phenomenal performance. Good performance by Arsenal. Decent performance from Spurs, and the only reason why I say decent is because they actually came up in the second half. But I mean, if I had to pick a player from that match, it has to be Ramsdale because he definitely saved Arsenal from getting conceded the amount of goals. It's just I'm sick and tired of it. Like I keep telling you guys, I'm sick and tired of Spurs only performing in the second half. Like why? Why? Like it's time to fucking start performing the entire game from minute 1 to minute 90 plus.
All
Like,
right.
that's what I don't understand.
You're the Tottenham board. What are you doing now?
I don't know. To be quite honest, I mean,
Do you keep Conte? Do you
no. I mean, I love Conte.
do you back him in the window?
I love Conte. But it's just like I feel like his playing style is now just.
Let me just say for the
It's just
record,
gone.
I'm glad we held off and waited.
I went back on the Arsenal threads. There were so many fans that said for Conte. Oh, you want Conte? Arteta who? Like he's no. I think we're seeing.
No, his playing style is not working, not anymore. It's like one of those coaches where their playing styles is actually falling off.
Well,
Okay.
Nick has said
Mourinho
it.
effect.
Nick has said it
The
countless
Mourinho
times.
effect, yeah.
Simeone 2.0. yeah.
Simeone, like all these, I'm sorry for cutting you off, but all these players, all these coaches, like, with a good amount of years, a good amount of experience, the success that they have, it's now coming down.
They can only
Okay.
They can only do that type of play in fucking Italy.
Yeah,
In Italy or
Yeah,
in,
that's
in
kind of
I would say
tactics.
cup competitions. Where
yeah. Rafa Benitez is another. Are we seeing it with Klopp soon? Is Pep Guardiola coming there too? We don't know because look at Arteta, brand new coach. Look at Zidane, brand new coach. Probably the only coach that I have seen.
Xavi.
Xavi, brand new coach. Probably the only coach that I have seen that has done very well consistently for a long, long time is Ancelotti. He's the only one.
He's starting to fall off too now.
No, despite his performance at Everton, he realized that okay, I got to get out of here before I'm put in that fucking category.
Everton, you can kind of see what's coming already from a
Yeah.
long far away. Yeah.
I just think we need one of those coaches that
You need a project
that's
manager.
new, that's like fairly new.
You need a project manager, somebody who's going to be there for the long haul.
Yeah.
Graham Potter would have been nice before.
Yeah.
Graham Potter-
And someone who stops playing a 3-back.
Yeah, for
Nick
real.
has said it countless times. It's a 3-back or 5-back, however you want to classify it. It's more
Who-
short term than anything. And especially in this particular Spurs team, where we've said it countless times, they pretty much need a whole new 11. These players aren't fitting that system anymore, and he's not adapting. And I mean, the most he adapts is maybe puts him in a 3-5-2.
Now I'm starting to realize like all the players that he's going after are all in the Italian league who play in that system. It's not going to work in the Premier League.
So are we saying Lukaku's going to Spurs?
No,
Oh, that'd be funny as fuck.
no. He was a
When Harry
target.
Kane leaves and comes to the United.
Well, Harry Kane's leaving this summer, dude.
He is leaving.
I'm
this
like
summer.
I'm 100% convinced right now.
I think he is.
I think
too.
they've already said that he's not looking to extend his contract.
I mean, and here we
He's
come.
leaving.
Now, the-
Osimhen.
my question is: does Harry Kane want to stay in the Premier League to reach that mark where
I
he
would
I
say
think he
so.
goes
He'll
to
see
reach
United.
that Premier League
I'd say he
title?
goes back
And
to his boyhood
won't.
club.
He won't come. He won't come to United.
Katie is better, but
I mean, I wouldn't be honest. I feel like Newcastle has a chance to get him.
nah, he won't go to no.
You don't
They'll
think
have a
so?
chance, but I don't think he'd go.
You don't
They
think
got
so?
Isak. They got Isak. Isak's the
Yeah.
future.
And
Yeah, they
he's
invested
been
in,
injured.
Yeah, but they
He
invested
just got
40
back, bro. He
mil.
scored a goal.
Okay, won't go back.
I mean, obviously they have the funds to afford him, but I don't think he'd go.
I would
there.
okay. I would not love to see Harry Kane leave, but I do understand.
Dude, his
He'd go to
career's.
Bayern.
I mean, unfortunately, it's sad to say, like he's had such a glowing career for himself individually, but nothing to show for it.
Audi Cup.
Not. Okay. The fact that you said that is kind of.
I'm
depressing.
kidding.
The meme of there was a meme once upon a time. Harry Kane in like 2010. Harry Kane now. The only difference is the Audi Cup.
That's. I mean, look, it's not the bash on Spurs, but also it's kind of the bash on Spurs. But for Harry Kane, like, dude, he's arguably one of the best
strikers in the
of
world.
our time.
Yeah.
Of our time, and he has nothing to go for it. Nothing.
Yeah, I think he'll leave.
So like
80 mil.
what the two teams that are rumored are Bayern Munich and Real Madrid.
Oh,
Outside
at least
of-
he'll guarantee
outside
the
of England.
Bundesliga title there.
Yeah, that's for real. But I honestly feel like he's gonna stay in the Premier League, and I think Newcastle is the top choice because
He's going to
City
United.
City has
he's not,
Haaland
he's not coming to United.
and
He's
United.
He's not
so.
coming. To, no, he's not coming to United.
I think he fits us perfectly. Honestly.
There's a rumor. There's a rumor that
He presses. He passes
That's
the
true.
ball.
Oh no,
That's
they
true.
really want to keep Martial. What is it? Martial, right?
there is.
You want that? You want that? Martial wants that.
You'd get
golden
killed,
golden
dude.
ball, bro.
I did see a rumor where Ten Hag has supposedly already said that he doesn't think Kane would suit him well. And hey, listen,
I mean, yeah,
Respect
Rashford
enough.
is fucking balling right now.
Okay, but would you sell Kane in the summer? I would.
I don't want to because he's our top
Selfish.
player.
Brother,
Yes, it
he's
is.
gonna leave soon.
It
couple
is
years.
being selfish,
Nah,
but
of course you don't want to sell him, but I mean,
But I
for him,
for him, yeah. If I was Daniel Levy, and for him, I'll
everything
sell
he's
him.
given you, all the years,
yes,
the relentless
yes,
work.
yes, I would hate it, pit in my stomach, but I will sell him, but for a good bargain.
What's a good bargain? He's already older.
I think he goes for 80.
I think regardless,
I think-
he's still England's
I-
golden boy. He's no less than 80.
But if he goes to the Bundesliga, they don't give a fuck about that.
Yeah, it's true. But
Nah.
but
The
Daniel
Harry
Levy,
Kane
but
saga.
Daniel Levy will care about it. though.
I'd probably put a price between 75 to 95 mil.
And by the way, Todd Bowley, Harry Kane is not for sale. Just saying it right now.
Oh, I
Get the
forgot
fuck
Chelsea.
outta here. No.
Honestly,
No,
I-
absolutely
They
the
got
fuck not.
They got him
Absolutely the
They
fuck
got
not.
Mudryk.
you
They
can't count out Bully though, man.
The
No,
one-
no.
the
Bowley.
one player that
I would
actually
hate
worked for
everything.
them, though. The one.
No, he wouldn't work for them. Todd Bowley, he would not work for your system or your team, or whatever.
Chill,
For
FFP.
your baseball team.
FFP. They don't have money. They're getting more money. They're-
Okay.
They're done.
I would hate.
They're dried up.
I would hate everything in this fucking world if Kane goes to Chelsea. I'd rather have him as a bat boy for the Dodgers.
Well,
instead of
Todd
that.
Bowley can probably make that happen.
That's true.
Okay, I okay, fine. I will hate.
Bad boy.
Pay, he be bat boy during the week and then play for Chelsea on the weekends. Ah man, but
Well, what'd you think about your Arsenal during the Spurs game?
So
during
I
that game?
think the game was, and we watched it with Danny and Diego. it was literally what we were expecting for it to be. It's like it was honestly like we after the game we're like, yeah, I kind of expected that to happen for Arsenal to come out in the first half, get a couple goals, and then just fight it out, scrap it out in the second half. It was I couldn't have predicted the game anymore if you would have shown me that game 5 months from now, I would have told you, oh yeah, that happened this time around when Conte was a manager. It was just so obvious, like not at the races to begin with. The one time you guys pressed
The header.
the header, we got the ball back. We broke
Nice
the press.
save.
Ramsdale. He broke the press, and then after that, sat back. It was so predictable, man, and it makes me happy because as much as predictable as you guys are, I can see the identity that we have as an Arsenal team, and I'm sure you guys seen the pictures and everything of the little posters that we put in the locker room of Arteta and his little light bulb moments and everything. But I think it goes to show that we do have a way of playing and we stick by it. Our first 11 are our first 11 for all these games. It's not changing. We know what we want to do. We know what we're going to do going into the game. But a player that I was kind of calling out a couple times here and there. Well, two players actually was kind of was Eddie Nketiah, because I feel like he could have done better on the finishing, but I went back and looked at the game. His hold up game is just was A1 against you guys.
Okay.
And Zinchenko, he
played well.
Dude, he revolutionized our backline. Like the way that he can carry the ball, pass the ball, break the press, just dribble in between players. Like I am surprised Pep let him go, and that both him and Jesus come to Arsenal, because it's just I'm at a loss for words as to how much this guy has changed. And I love Tierney. I'm a passion merchant, so if Tierney shows that fucking passion, like stick it to them kind of thing. But Zinchenko also does that, but he does it when he plays with the ball at his feet. It's so like classy. It's like he's world class. You can see he's a midfielder.
Mm.
He's a number 10 playing at left back. It's just, oh man, I'm just over the moon with these signings, and it goes to show that just because we didn't get Martinez, we were going after him. He was our first choice. Zinchenko was backup choice. We didn't get him. We were going for Vlahovic. We didn't get him. We got Gabriel Jesus. It goes to show that the recruitment that we have at Arsenal right now is top notch. So although I'm upset about Mudryk, I'm still happy that we are gonna make the right choice. But as far as
recruitment top notch, you went to City. Pep Guardiola was like, "Here you go.
Hey, look.
Here you go, my young grasshopper."
Look, Nick, you said, what, did Pep sell his soul? No, he sold Zinchenko and Jesus. That's what I'm saying right now. But as far as our gameplay goes, I think, and this is where I'll kind of want to make the comment on Gakpo. I think he's going to eventually come good, because if you look at Odegaard, for example, when he came last year to Arsenal for that loan spell, a lot of people weren't convinced by him. He wasn't looking that good. It was like, this is going to be like the player that we invest all our money, but like a decent amount of money and give the captaincy to. And he has, dude, this season he's blowing up. He's blowing up. He's showing why Real Madrid picked him up when he was 16 years old. And I'm just over the moon as to how well he's developed, how well I think Party's the best CDM in the league right now.
That's an ongoing debate, right?
Huh?
Yeah. Rodri, Casemiro, Party.
Casemiro, it's kind of hard not to like throw Casemiro in that argument.
I mean, for me, it's Rodri, but I can see arguments.
Maybe over the past couple of seasons, I would say Rodri, but at least this season, without Party, we don't play the way we play. We lost against United without Party, and you saw the gaping holes in the middle that we had. Party has changed. Well, he hasn't changed because he's been there for a couple of seasons now.
United beat Arsenal without Casemiro.
Yes, yeah. So this is gonna be a good matchup on Saturday. But we have Party back. They have no Casemiro, so happy about that. But yeah, as far as the way we played, man, we're seeing the levels now that are getting raised. We're seeing the fruit of our labor when it comes to investing in the youth of players, of giving them time, of giving the manager time. It's not reactionary like it was before, because Saka was eating Sessegnon alive. He was just killing him. Martinelli was fucking playing mind games with Ray Charleston on the corner flag, which I fucking loved. Defensively, Gabriel and Saliba are showing to be one of the best center back pairings right now in this season, at least in the league right now.
I'm still surprised Gabriel didn't get called up for Brazil.
I don't.
Still.
I still don't understand that.
Well, apparently it's because of Richarlison.
Who?
Richarlison.
Wow, what happened?
Apparently him and Gabriel don't get along.
I actually I could believe that because they were arguing.
Look at the whole fucking Belgium team, and they still fucking call players
I mean,
together.
Eric, didn't you say it this past week? I don't know if it was recording or not, but you said Richarlison is the golden boy of Barcelona.
Yes.
Brazil. Sorry.
Yes.
Not Neymar
Not anymore. Neymar's on his way out. Richarlison's the one
coming in.
He's got a tattoo of fucking Neymar and Ronaldo on his back. So.
I mean, phenomenal.
Yeah.
But
Golden Boy.
as far as Arsenal goes, man, I am over the moon with this performance because the first time we won since 2014, I want to say it was.
Yeah.
So for us to go there, you could see that there was still a revenge that we wanted to get back from last season after we lost to you guys and then knocked us out of Champions League. So you could see that we were going there with an intent, and the way we stuck by our gameplay. We didn't change anything. We stuck by what we know. We had the identity, and it showed through. It was fucking amazing. And I went into this game last week, I told you guys, extremely confident. I wasn't worried. And I think this shows why. I think Spurs are a completely opposite, I guess, time in as far as like club building goes than Arsenal are right now. So I'm happy. I just have no other word besides thank you, Zinchenko. Thank you, Man City. I'm not a Man City fans here, but thank you, Man City, for giving us Zinchenko. And let's just keep the good times rolling.
Foreshadowing right now, JG is gonna say you're welcome in the group chat.
You can say you're welcome all you want. So I don't give a fuck. As long as we win the fucking Premier League title, I will, bro. I'll get on my knees and go to Man City.
I don't think JG fucking listens to this.
Can I just say though, the funniest, the ref definitely had a Harry Kane penalty. He definitely bet on that because when Højbjerg kicked the ball and then like Saliba like bumped, and then the ref was like,
Yeah, you saw that.
and then like 5 seconds later, that shit was so funny.
Like that was what are you calling?
Literally when he called it, I was like, yep, of course, Harry Kane penalty. No,
And it was towards the end of the game too, right? It was like minute 80 something.
That was pretty early in the second half. The
Yeah,
first half.
everyone was like,
I think it was the end of the
80.
first half.
And in the first half,
I wanna
correct.
say.
So
yeah,
a penalty was called.
No, it
Yeah.
was not. Oh, it called
It
and
was
then
called, but then it was
They
not a
reversed
penalty.
it.
Yeah, no.
Oh, then they reversed
He
it.
It was
kicked
like
the
funny.
ball.
It was just like-
Saliba was on the ground, and he after everything had happened, he
threw himself.
kind of trove and threw himself over Saliba.
We should have had these referees for the Man United Man City game.
Should have gotten a yellow for diving like
Yeah,
that.
I
It was so
mad
bad.
when I saw that.
England golden boy. He's not gonna get a yellow for that.
But yeah, these bro. I
Huh?
would say one of
No,
the
we
worst
we,
displays.
we we need to look for a new
But didn't it
goalkeeper.
get an extension recently?
2-year extension, which includes this year, I think.
so he'll
I think
expires
No,
next
no,
year.
I think he's playing until the end when he turns 38, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, I saw Tottenham looking for a goalkeeper. So
We
they
do.
should
I mean-
clearly get-
I mean, they were when Conte, he was looking at Handanovic,
he's not good. Ivanovic.
looking at Ter Stegen because he hasn't renewed his contract with Barcelona yet,
The octopus, okay.
and Oblak. I mean, that was from the summer. I don't know how it is now.
Don't you like Oblak?
No,
Out of
I
those,
think
out of
both
those
of
three,
them are
out of those three
okay.
options from recently of the goalkeepers, I will go with Ter Stegen.
100%.
yeah, but Barca's like pretty decent now, and he's pretty good. Yeah, he's actually like I called him finished. He's actually
Yeah, because
really
he grew
good now.
hair. Now he's better.
But-
He was a turkey.
You know the thing with Conte is that like normally with managers who keep on losing, not keep on losing, but who lose like often, and then like the fans say, "Oh, but he's still playing good football." This is like the complete opposite case of Conte. Like it's very dull.
And the thing with Conte, I feel like his comments don't help out anymore either.
Yeah.
Like before, he used to make it like, oh, yeah, what was he before? Oh, we deserve to be out of top 4. Maybe that's where we belong. People would take that as like, oh, maybe trying to motivate the players. But I think now it's just starting to hurt them more than
It's
help them.
backfiring.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, well, London is red.
Okay,
I
good
don't know
for
if you
you.
saw Martin like the scarf on the cameras.
No, I didn't see
So
that.
it was a nice Arsenal scarf floating all around Tottenham Stadium. So
Yo, those pink pre-Arsenal
oh,
jackets.
love them.
That might be on tier with the not the AC Milan, because AC Milan was actual like fashion, but these like the actual pregame. For me, that one and the PSG one, I think the Arsenal one tops it. That pink one, bro, that shit
haven't
is
seen
hard,
The
bro.
Training jacket, dude. It's
And the Odegaard on that shit, I can't even lie.
Yeah, that shit was tough, man. I'm gonna see if I can find one, but yeah, man, it was over the moon. Cloud 9, Marco.
100% Cloud9.
Cloud 9, man.
Love it.
Is it too soon?
I don't
I
want
don't
to
even
say
have to
yet.
ask. You know
but
exactly what I'm going.
I will say this: if we go into the weekend and we get the 3 points,
You can start.
I can start believing. 100%. But right now, I still got to play Man City's, still got to play Liverpool, still got to play Chelsea again, and still got to
And
play.
for the second Man City game, it's 3 big games at one hit.
Yeah, so I think it was from May to
we have
May to April. I think
Yeah,
there's like
we have
a
Man City,
rough game for
Chelsea,
us,
and
rough sequence for us.
Newcastle back to back.
May to April.
I'm sorry,
April to May.
April to May.
Yeah,
Sorry,
I was about to
April
say.
to May.
What
But
was
April to
that?
May is like a rough run of games for us. Where
Yeah.
we can just literally fall.
Plus, you have
Fall
European
down.
competition at that time, and we don't know how far we're going to be at. Plus the FA. So
And if we don't get a sign in this window,
it's going to be a little
It's
harder.
gonna be rough.
The thing is
Yeah.
that I think if Arsenal played that City game and we're still what are they 8 points clear?
Mhm.
I think they'd be like very comfortable. But the fact that they still have to play those 2 City games,
Yes.
like anything can happen. Like
Anything can happen.
us, like let's say they do lose 2 of them, that's 6 points dropped
Quick question,
and
Eric.
2 points ahead.
Sorry. Quick question for tomorrow's match. Do you want to see Man City beat your city rivals, or
Oh no, I want Spurs to win. We already beat you guys. So I want Spurs to win.
Okay?
You guys are
For once, I have him on my side.
you guys are out of the picture for me now. 14 points behind, so I'm good. And City on the other hand, not so much.
Last comment about the. This is for you, Lloris.
You got a record for that, bro. Honestly,
For real.
I mean, where's your record?
I lost it. You just lost it for me. Sorry.
On to the next.
Okay, I said one more comment. Okay. All right. So that's match day 20. Crystal Palace and United did play today. I'll quickly go over that game. Casimita out.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't overall on the game itself. It wasn't a bad game.
It wasn't.
It's not like we played bad. I mean, it was decent, and we weren't as good as we should have been. I mean, of course, I got to give credit to Palace. They haven't been on a good run of form lately, so they needed to get something out of this, and you can see, especially towards the end of the game, they never gave up. So credit to them for just keeping on. Casemiro's out, but I'm not mad.
Yeah.
Because and Diego and I were talking, Diego was all for, he should have, he needs to sub off Casemiro now. This was like in the 70th minute or so. And to me, like, of course, I'm going to agree because I don't want him to get the yellow. And of course, 10 seconds later, so he freaking gets
Because
the
the
yellow.
commentators were saying, oh, if he gets the yellow card, he'll miss the next game.
But-
And then a minute later, boom, happens.
But it just, even Ten Hag was asked about this before the game about, aren't you worried about Casemiro and Fred getting the yellow cards? You have a crucial game coming up. And he's like, we're focusing on the next game. So
That's the mentality you have to have.
that's of course. So I'm not surprised, unfortunately, that it happened, especially the kind of play that it happened on. Yes, maybe he could have trusted Varane just to be in the right spot, just to be annoying and be in the way. But I mean, any other day you would be asking for that foul anyway. So,
Yeah.
but I mean, it just shows how much trust that Ten Hag has in this team that he still kept. I don't think Ten Hag was ever going to sub him off unless we got a second goal in, and we were comfortably 2-0 up. I trust Ten Hag.
Because ironically, right before the yellow card, he had 2 phenomenal tackles where Varane and who was on the right side? Bisaka were caught out of position. And he, of course, Casemita, right timing, right place, made 2 crucial tackles. And then it just happens to be that he had to make that foul.
He had to do it, so it's not even something that I
Yeah.
can be mad about. Like, he had to do it.
Yeah.
But beautiful free kick by
Oh.
Olise.
Man, he didn't celebrate that, which I find kind of odd.
Yeah, it's this new little trend going on where players aren't starting to celebrate for some odd reason to look cold. Go celebrate in the corner, bro.
For real.
But it was a great free kick. There was nothing De Gea could have done.
No.
I don't think any goalie at that point could have done it. It was a beautiful free. It was
perfectly
beautifully
placed.
struck. It was
Wait.
great.
I'm gonna say already, Balotelli started that trend. Okay, like just being cold after every goal that he scored.
For real.
But I mean, needless to say, I mean, it was disappointing. But just one thing that's funny is like the one thing that I was annoyed about, and a lot of United fans on Twitter and stuff were annoyed about, is that Crystal Palace stopped us from going 10 games in all competitions of winning the last 10 games. It just shows you just how far Ten Hag has taken us, where we've completely glossed over the fact that we're still unbeaten in those last 10 games, but everyone's annoyed because we couldn't go 10 games winning.
Well,
So-
to your point, after that game, at least from what I saw, all the United players looked defeated. Like they had their heads down. Casemiro, you can just see in his face, like when he got the yellow card, he was like, he did not like. He's like he saw the consequence, and even Ten Hag was like, he just shook his head like in disappointment. Not at Casemiro because again he did what he had to do, but just at the outcome of what's gonna happen because now
even Ten Hag said like it is what it is. Like you had to do it.
So you guys had a big game today where you didn't make many subs, to be honest with you, and if you did, you made them kind of late. You lose Casemiro, and now you're going into the weekend against arguably we're a top form team right now between us and City and not City, but maybe Newcastle.
Say the best team in the league.
I'm not saying that yet, but
Well, you.
I mean,
cállate, Nick.
Yo, can I sign a loan to Arsenal now?
Yo, you welcome, bro. What's up? You come through? Yo, I got that, bro. I know you like him, bro. You can't not like him.
I do like him now.
But yeah, no, I did in the game, man. I saw a lot of faces, and as an Arsenal fan, I was happy that they were all very upset.
but you can also
take
tell
that.
though. I mean,
It means a lot.
it's also crunch time.
Mm-hmm.
The schedule is just not. It's not nice for us at all. We have way too many games in such a short amount of time.
Yeah.
Especially it was most noticeable with Rashford today.
Yeah,
He just didn't look like he normally does.
he was going 8 for 8, was it, or 9 for 9?
He was going 9 for 9. He's on 8 for 8. I think he was going 9 for 9.
Gotcha.
But you can just tell like he wasn't running as much. The commentators even pointed out that Bruno, who first of all was all over the damn pitch.
Yeah,
He was putting in a work on Rashford's side because Rashford wasn't tracking back as he normally does. So yeah, there are some tired legs. Again, the schedule's just not nice to us, but I mean, hey, we keep moving forward. I mean, it wasn't a loss, even though it still feels like one.
But that says a lot because that shows where the mentality has shifted from like, okay, we didn't lose that bad to like, damn, we didn't win. We should have won this game.
Yeah. So
So.
we keep moving forward. We got our eyes focused on the next game, which is going to be a fun game.
Yes. But before we get into those predictions, tomorrow we do have Spurs are hosting City, right?
No other way around.
No.
It'd
So
be-
City are hosting Spurs.
Yep, it's at the empty head.
All right. Well, we'll see how that game turns out. Quick predictions on that. This won't count towards the actual thing because we have predictions. Or is that counting towards that or no? No, right?
No.
No. Okay. So
No,
what-
it's not one of the games.
So just
that
quick
we're-
predictions. Will City get the best of Spurs, or will Spurs continue being the Achilles heels for Man City?
3-1 City.
3-1 City.
Yeah, 2-1 City. I want to say draw, but I think City are going to bounce back.
I think Spurs are too much in the mud right now. I'm gonna say 4-1. Haaland hat trick and then KDB maybe.
Damn.
Marco?
3-0.
I'm gonna stick with the Achilles heels, but just barely. Spurs 2.
This might be a good
City
match
1.
because they both need to bounce back.
They both need, but Spurs.
I-
But they're
I
also
just think-
tired.
Spurs 2, City 1.
Yeah.
But they're
I
both
mean-
also tired.
Yeah,
I've
that's
seen
true.
this game be very boring in the past. So
You've seen this game very boring in the past? I mean, they've always been exciting.
Man City Spurs, I remember at least one or twice that's been like very just dreadful. Just like nothing going
Those
on.
are the only games that you remember?
Spurs
Wow.
are dreadful games.
Okay.
Well, now it's not crazy to say that.
Yeah, no, it's
It
not.
is pretty dreadful watching Tottenham now.
Again, it's written in the books. City gonna come out, score probably 3 goals in the first half. Spurs are gonna come out, maybe score a goal in the second, and then
Try to catch up.
get one more, and City will get one more goal just for the hell of it. It's written in the book. You saw it here first. This is literally gonna happen. This is we calling it here right now. City are gonna destroy in first half, maybe get a goal. Spurs will get a goal in the second half just for shits and giggles for consolation, and then one more goal just to kind of put the cherry on top for City. That's what's gonna happen. I'm calling it right now.
So it's gonna go 3-1 and then 4-1.
All right, so I'll give you the option: Fantasy 15 or predictions for the weekend. What do you want to do first?
Don't matter.
I'll do predictions, then we'll end on Fantasy 15. All right, so some predictions for the weekend. We got Liverpool hosting Chelsea. We have Arsenal hosting Manchester United. And what was the last game we chose, guys?
West Ham versus Everton.
Yeah.
Oh, a relegation battle.
Mm-hmm.
I'm also keeping an eye on that Fulham Spurs game, though.
No, we've been talking about Spurs way too much.
I'm
No,
just
but
saying.
that's
I'm
a
just saying.
top,
I'm just keeping an eye on it because
That's that's a top 7,
That's a-
top 6.
It is.
fight right there.
and Fulham. Again, we didn't mention it, but they had a really good game against Newcastle. Mimitro, unfortunately, tried to do a new trick, but got disallowed in the penalty spot.
I mean, I'm still surprised that guy was celebrating that.
I was
Newcastle fucking
from a
got tired.
fantasy perspective, so
Fantasy goes out the window
From
when
a
your
fantasy
team is
perspective.
right there.
From a fantasy perspective, I'm doing good in fantasy this
Hey,
season.
hold on.
So.
If they would have drawn Newcastle and Fulham would have drawn, how far would
2 points up, I think Man United would have gone up.
Damn, bro? You guys support the other team, man.
I'm
I'm
telling
just-
you,
no,
he
I'm-
prefers the fantasy versus his own team going to third. That's crazy.
I'm up with that too.
His pride more than his passion.
Damn.
Whatever. You want to think that, it's fine.
All right, so let's go with the first game: Liverpool versus Chelsea.
8th versus 9th.
Early,
Is it really?
Yeah.
Liverpool
shit.
8th, Chelsea 10th.
I'll go
early,
first.
early kickoff,
Oh, no, man.
7:30 in the morning, East Coast time, Saturday.
I'm going 1-1.
Come on, Nick.
At Anfield?
Yeah,
No,
7:30.
Make sure that
man,
that
no
one
way.
is like long. Okay. That,
There's
like,
no
Yeah.
way you
Oh,
guys.
it's mine, so.
There's no way you guys lose to Brighton and then draw at home the next game. No way.
I'm going to go 0-0.
What
I
the
can see
fuck
that.
is wrong with you guys?
It's gonna be a boring game.
No, I can't see this happening. No way. Gat, what do you have?
We need Diego here with the facts.
I'm actually looking it up right now. Because I don't know how he must read fast because there's a lot of shit on here.
If
So
you go to the Premier League app,
Might have done like
no,
summary
I'm on
before.
One Football, which I'm pretty sure that's where he had to. The only thing that I'm going
I
to,
think he
just
does
there's a lot
summaries,
here.
though.
No, Diego does his
the-
homework.
the
does
Premier, the
summaries.
Premier League actual website has all the head-to-head.
But yeah, it
stats.
also has the head-to-head. Liverpool have lost just 2 of their last 15 matches against Chelsea
Home and away?
at
All right. Can
at
I go?
Anfield.
Yeah,
Alright,
yeah.
go.
Before Gat, okay, go ahead.
All right. I'm gonna say it's gonna be a 2-0 Liverpool, and Mudryk is gonna get injured.
Yeah, please.
A red card like Felix.
No, injured, so it's even long time.
On a side note, on Mudryk, I do feel bad kind of saying it because ever since he signed for Chelsea, and you know how he was twerking for Arsenal,
Bro,
he hasn't posted anything on Instagram.
that's what
He
that's like.
hasn't.
That's
I've
that's
seen
Conspiracy
The
theory. Maybe they're
conspiracy.
telling him not to.
no. The
No, I
conspiracy
think he's
theory is
generally
that
upset.
the government helped.
Nah, I don't think he's
gets them to
upset.
do it.
They
I'm not
for,
upset
they
that he
forced them.
went to
They
Chelsea.
forced them.
Yeah.
Maybe they forced them to go to
But
Chelsea.
he, yeah,
Mhm.
I
They
think it
forced
was
him to go
kind
to
of
Chelsea.
like, oh damn, I was doing all this shit for Arsenal.
Yeah,
now I'm at Chelsea.
Yeah, I think it was forced to go. Side note again, Twitter, fucking hilarious the way that they're memeing on him.
So just to give you guys the recent meeting. So at the bridge 2-2, at Anfield 1-1. Oh shit, maybe you guys are right then. At Anfield, Chelsea won 1-0. This is back in 2021. But yeah, I mean, as far as the actual score lines go, at least the most recent ones have been close and have been draws.
Low scoring games.
Low scoring games overall. Home wins, total wins. I mean, Chelsea have. I mean, it's damn it. It's fucking really tied. Interesting. Okay, so
Prediction?
what was your prediction? 2-0.
I'm gonna go 1-1 as well. Not just because of the history. It's just they're both not firing, and they're both not defending either. So I think it really is gonna just end up being a tie.
Nunez is gonna miss 10 goals,
He might not
but he's
even.
gonna score 1.
He's
There
still.
you go.
He's,
There we go.
Is he still out
I
injured?
think he's going back.
You
Yeah,
think he's
should
gonna be
be.
back?
He's scoring 1 goal. It's just that he's gonna miss like
It's
20.
gonna be
of them
it's
bursts.
gonna be the one fluke.
Yeah, and it's gonna be a fluke one. Yeah, it's gonna be like a bounce off, kind of like tap in, but it was
It's like
supposed to win.
like Grealish's first goal when it came off his like shin or something by
Yes,
accident.
yes, it's gonna be something like that. And he's gonna over celebrate it too.
You can do. It's funny because I'm talking all this shit about Mudryk, right? But I feel like this game actually kind of suits him. Just if
The high line.
Chelsea just just play on the counter, and just send Mudryk on a fucking sprint on the side just to get behind the defenders. It's gonna be an interesting game, but because I'm still salty, I'm gonna give Liverpool the win, 2-1.
2-1 Mudryk scores.
2-1 Mudryk scores, but Liverpool win. All right, so
You already got mine,
Oh,
right?
Diego, sorry.
Oh,
yeah,
Diego.
we'll get
I'll
Diego's.
text him.
we'll get Diego's later. All right, and then we have the relegation scrap between West Ham and Everton. Is somebody getting sacked this game after this game?
I think so.
Okay.
And who's home?
West Ham.
I'm also gonna go for a draw here. 2-2. Moyes gets sacked.
All right. I'm going to go with a 2-1 West Ham.
I think if Ben Rama starts, I'm going to agree with a West Ham victory, but I'm going to go 1-0.
West Ham. Okay.
1-1.
I feel like every time I said West Ham was, they're bound to, they gotta turn it around. They gotta win the game, and then they never fucking
Fuck
win the
West
game.
Ham. I had them in fourth place.
And funny enough, Everton are winless in 9 Premier League away games in London, drawing 3, losing 6.
Damn.
The last time that they won in London away was to West Ham. In a 1-0.
Damn, this is hard, man. This is hard because they're just both in such bad form right now. I want to say it's a draw, but again, West Ham have to fuck it. If there's a team to turn around against, it's against Everton. There's so much in the mud, but so are West Ham. It's just fucking. What'd you guys say? So everybody, so you have a draw. You have West Ham. You have West Ham. You have a draw. Huh? Nah, man. I can't. I'm gonna go West Ham. 2-1.
I'm telling
I
you.
feel like it's gonna end in a draw. Honestly.
I feel like somebody's good for Everton
I
to
knew
score that last minute. Like be 0-0 the whole game, and last minute be like, oops.
Yeah, for real. Oh man. All right. Well, and then we have an old rivalry that's coming again. I'm excited for this game. Arsenal hosting Manchester United.
United 8, Arsenal 2.
14 points to you. I don't care.
Okay. We should
No,
just
no.
deduct points. Deduct points from his overall score.
Yeah,
for
every
that.
time Josue says something, just put a -1 on. Whatever it is.
No,
Put minus points like Spurs.
it's at the Emirates, right?
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna go with Arsenal 2, United 1.
United 3.
Yeah, I'm waiting for that.
United. What is it?
2-1.
Arsenal 2-1 Arsenal.
Nick, you go first.
All right, I'm gonna go with an Arsenal victory. Is it early? Is it an early game?
No,
11:30.
No, it's the last.
11:30.
It's the last game on a
11:30.
Sunday.
Granit Xhaka screamer.
Party almost had one.
Oh my god.
I didn't. I
know.
wasn't watching the game live at that time, but then I was watching. I think it was a halftime or the post match highlights, and I saw. I'm like, yo, what the
And dude,
fuck?
shin
He
guard.
hit it with his shin too.
Yeah, that he struck that crazy.
Oh,
But
God.
3-2 Arsenal.
Oh.
I'll go first. I'm tired of allowing that my thinking that they're gonna score on us cloud my judgment. So I'm gonna go with a 2-0 this
2-0 clean sheet at home.
Clean
Okay.
sheet.
Okay.
I'm excited for this game.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not as nervous anymore. I'll say that.
I'm excited for this game. This is gonna be a fun game to watch. I think, yes, also I mentioned it before. Ten Hag has already said that last time we beat Arsenal last time without Casemiro.
And we had no party.
That is still worrying, of course, but I still think it's gonna be a good game. We're the only team to have beaten you so far this season.
Yeah. We're also at home. Don't forget that.
No, I'm not gonna forget that.
Just
but-
remind you. Just letting you know. But look. You had no Casemiro. We had no party. This game, we have party, and you have no Casemiro. I'm just letting that out there.
3-1 United.
It's funny between you guys.
3-1. I mean, at least be a little bit more reasonable. Like 3-1. I guess. First of all, that last game, they obviously scratched off Odegaard's goal, and then they came out later. Oh yeah, actually it should have stood. So fuck out of here. First of all, it's like come on,
Wait,
Odegaard will score.
Wait, didn't he just say that Rashford was off this game because he's tired?
dude.
Bro,
Look,
they're
look,
four
look,
games
look.
away. 4 days, not even 4 days away from a next match,
Look,
and you really think he's gonna? It's your.
just
it's
be happy
your
Diego's
prediction.
not here because he would be fucking giving us a lot of shit right now too. He'd be fucking coming at us right now. But to your point, Gap, you guys had no Casemiro the first game, but I re-emphasize we had no fucking Thomas Partey, best midfielder in the league right now. We had no Eddie Nketiah, best striker in the league right now.
Oh my god.
I honestly, all jokes aside, that Casemiro yellow card today, bro. I
It
could
was
ask
relieving.
these guys.
There's a weight off your shoulders.
Oh,
I
dude,
bet.
as he said, I literally said, "Thank God," because
Off with let's go. I'm
Yeah.
like, what the fuck happened? Like,
Yeah.
you're not watching the game. I'm like, bro, I didn't know they played with that.
Dimitri thought that Crystal Palace scored a goal. I'm like, no, Casemiro yellow card. Like, let's go, because that dude, man, he's so fucking good. bro.
Dang,
He's so good. I hate that he's at United because he's showing the levels that he's raised them. But given the players that we have available to us, given that we're at home, given the form. I'm actually going into this game a lot more confident now. Again, Casemiro changed everything for me. That yellow card changed everything for me. So I'm going into this game a lot more confident. Of course, it's gonna bite me in the ass somehow. Watch.
4-0 Arsenal.
4-0.
Party gets in a red card right in the beginning of the game.
I mean, I could see Rashford probably gonna score against us like he usually does. 3-1 Arsenal. Just because we're home. If we were at United, probably be a scrappier affair, closer result, maybe even a draw. But we're at home. I think the Saka is just playing out of his skin right now. So, yeah, 3-1 Arsenal. For shits and giggles, man, I'm really curious about this Fulham-Tottenham game.
Who's home?
Fulham.
At Cottage Road. Shit.
Craven Cottage. 2-1 Fulham.
I think so. I could see a Fulham win here.
Mitro with the hat trick.
Yo, I mean, Mitro's gonna. I feel he's gonna eat fucking Dyer alive, bro. Well, how the fuck is he still a starting center back? I have no fucking clue, but
Because they don't have anybody else that's good enough.
I'm done making predictions for Spurs, to be honest. I really
He
am.
knows, because he
Fulham
knows.
win. Fulham win.
He knows.
Fulham win. Fulham win. Let's go! All right, move on. That is it for the predictions for the week. We will get Diego's predictions later on today. Now, Gap, you're on your own today. All right, so make it snappy.
Fantasy 15 or less? You got
Fantasy
the-
15
you
or
got
less.
the timer?
Let me get it out right now. Fantasy 15 or less. Oop, that's a calculator, wrong one. Starting now.
Alrighty. So really quickly, I'm going to try to make this a little quick today. So we'll start off with the draft just to see how everything is going there. So we do still have the one more game tomorrow with City and Spurs. So we'll see what happens. So just currently how everything shapes up. Eric is actually currently beating me 51 in the draft.
Let's go. I haven't
51 to
logged
4.
into
You
the
had,
second week, bro.
you
Let's
had
go.
Bruno helping you out there with his 2 games and scoring in each one.
Bruno.
Oh, I'm sorry, Karen. Nick currently losing to Josue 40-48, and Marco is beating Diego 41-22. You're not getting out of this one, Diego. Pick better players.
I just want to remind you again, Gat. There's a plot against you. I'm just saying that.
I mean, that's fine.
Marco
That's
blames
fine.
me, but I don't know why. But
That's
No, I
perfectly
blame
fine.
you
So
for-
going into our running watch list, heading into game week 21, just some of the players that we are looking to keep our eyes on. Botman, Byrne, Odegaard, of course, turning it up. Veghorst is actually one to keep an eye on.
curious about him.
Today's game, for his debut today, he actually didn't play too bad at all. He was very energized. He pressed a lot. So I mean, we're excited to have him on there. Some of the Brighton boys, Solly March, Mitoma on there as well. Nottingham Forest surprisingly have a decent run of fixtures coming up, so you do want to keep your eyes on Gibbs White and Brennan Johnson, and Serge Aurier surprisingly has actually been doing the bits at left back for Nottingham
Bring him back.
Forest. So keep it.
Bring him back at Spurs.
Yeah, you guys.
said
you
left
guys
back?
definitely need- Yeah,
He
playing
plays
left
right back.
He's playing left back.
Holy shit.
He's playing left back, and he's doing pretty good. Brentford also have a decent run of fixtures coming up. We're still pending a decision on what's going to happen with Ivan Toney, but he still remains on our watch list as someone to watch. Mitro, as we keep saying, despite his unfortunate penalty miss, he still bosses that box. So keep an eye on him as well. Leeds are slowly coming into the fray as well. They actually also played today for their FA Cup replay, and Nanto scored twice today. And so did
He's looking pretty good,
Rodrigo.
bro.
So keep an eye on both of those as your options as you move forward, whether that's your 5th midfield spot or your 4th. Some of the names that you want to take off our watch list, unfortunately, Doherty and Perisic.
Fortunately.
Unfortunately for him. Unfortunately for him. Literally anyone who plays for the Liverpool back line off the watch list. As I said before, Nottingham Forest are on a good run of games. So unfortunately, we do have to take off Willy Boley on that list as well. Unfortunately, he's not doing the greatest. Dallo is still out. Not sure when he's going to return. He's off as well. West Ham have been shit. Paketa's off. Son, unfortunately, has not been himself, so we're taking him off our watch list as well. There's too much pet roulette going on, which sees Mahrez going down as well. Zaha is still an FPL troll, unfortunately, and he's still trying to find himself in that Palace side, and no one seems to be able to get on the end of his service anyway. He is off. Cody Wakpo, also off our list. We'll see if that changes in the future. Also, Fraudwin Nunez. Unfortunately, his injury kind of just solidified that he might be on his way out. And also,
Uruguayan counterpart, bro. Chill.
Fraudwin
I
Nunez.
just said he's gonna be scoring this next game.
And Tony Gloves, Anthony Martial as well. We're taking him off our watch list. He still remains a fitness doubt pretty much for the rest of his life. He can't stay. He can't stay fit. He can't stay fit to save his life. Some quick notes on the upcoming game week. We're also potentially keeping an eye on Almiron because he hasn't really been doing much these past couple game weeks. So you could be looking to swap Almiron out for either the likes of Odegaard, Mitoma, Solly March, or Rodrigo, especially because there could be some news, hopefully either this week or next week, on some double game weeks that are coming up. One thing that I do also want to mention as well, because of the uncertainty of what's going to happen over the next couple weeks, also game week 25 may or may not be a blank game week where some teams will not feature, mainly United and Newcastle, because if they both reach the final of the Carabao Cup, that is where the game is going to be played. So what we're suggesting, try to save your transfers as much as possible just to kind of navigate these upcoming weeks in case you need to make some quick changes. As well here, we've already mentioned that Forest have a good run of fixtures. Again, Aurier has done great over the last 3. He is pretty cheap. I think he's somewhere in the 4.5 range. So if you're looking for an enabler and someone who can be a good rotation, depending on who else you have in your back line, he's definitely one to look at. If you're looking to move off of Darwin, if you still have him, or even Tony, depending on what happens with his situation, as I mentioned before, Brennan Johnson is also someone to consider again from Nottingham Forest. The Arsenal mids have been pretty much kicking it up these past couple game weeks. Martinelli has slowly been, in terms of fantasy, in terms of his output, he has been falling off slowly. So you could potentially look at swapping him out for Odegaard. Having likely, if you do want to triple up on Arsenal, you probably still going to keep Martinelli. You're going to have Saka, and you're going to have Odegaard. That seems to be the popular route for a lot of people, but you can mix and match there if you want to, and depending on what your team looks like and what your budget is and how you're going to play the game as well. Man City, it's probably time to start dropping all of them. They're just not doing anything. They're just not doing anything.
Second place Man City. It's a crazy thing.
So yeah, Haaland is starting to become a non-auto pick captain. So in the beginning, this entire time we've been saying just perma captain Haaland. You just got to do it. He's blanked in the past 3
Who are they
games.
playing this weekend?
Wolves. Wolves, notoriously tight defensive team. So we'll see.
Notorious tight defensive team who's in the bottom of the table.
Yeah, but it's still Wolves, so you never know. So we'll see what happens. I mean, if you just take a look at the games that are coming up for this upcoming week in terms of captaincy, I mean, of course, Haaland is always still going to be up there regardless, as well as KDB, because of what you just mentioned. They are playing Wolves. Arsenal, United players are coming to the forefront as well. They're just on a good run of form. Yes, Arsenal and United do play each other, so you just want to keep that in mind. But I don't think there's going to be a clean sheet in that game anyway, so let's see what happens there. Newcastle are visiting Crystal Palace. Yes, they played decently against us today, but it's still Crystal Palace at the end of the day. Newcastle are on a great run, so you can go a different direction if you're looking at one of those. Just real quick as well, some notes. I know I mentioned before you might be looking at some of the Arsenal mids and even some of the Brighton boys as well. So specifically, starting off with Brighton, the 2 popular ones are either Mitoma or Solly March. If you look at the numbers as a whole, it's going to look better on Solly March's side, but that's just because Mitoma only recently just started playing. However, as I mentioned earlier, Mitoma's underlying numbers are there. That's why I don't think that this is just a purple patch for him, because if you look at since the World Cup ended and we have restarted the Prem, overall shots, you have Mitoma on 11, March is on 10. Of those shots, how many are on target? You have Mitoma on 5, March on 6. But you do have in the box where the disparity starts to grow a little bit. Of those shots, Mitoma has 10 of those in the box.
That's crazy.
Against Solly March's 7. And then you also have big chances created. Mitoma's on 5, March is on 1.
He just started playing.
And March is overperforming his XG. His XG is 1.33. He has 4 goals. Mitoma's on 2.38, and he has 2 goals. So he is performing just about as expected. And for those of you who have been playing fantasy for a while, you would have never looked at Solly March as someone you want to pick up because he's just not one of those FPL picks. Yes, he's doing good right now, but just keep an eye on that just for right now. And then on the other side of things, on the Arsenal side, it is pretty much even between Saka and Martinelli. I think overall, Saka does tend to ease out a little bit in terms of especially the assists. Saka has 8 assists currently on the season, with Martinelli's 5. But everything else is pretty much the same. 6 goals for Saka, 7 for Martinelli. It's just a matter of price. I mean, Saka is a valuable 8 mid, and there's a lot of those to go around. And depending on where and when you got Martinelli, I know myself, I got Martinelli in the beginning when he was just 6.4, I believe. He's almost 7 right now. So
wow.
he rose up a lot because of his form in the beginning of the season. So you can't really go wrong with either of them. If you can splurge on both, have both, you can't go wrong with that. But other than that, that is pretty much it.
I actually jumped the gun and dropped Martinelli and picked up Odegaard. And Odegaard is cheaper.
That's not a bad... And this is probably one of the few cases where I would not consider that a sideways move, just because Odegaard has just been performing so well. That's to me, that's definitely an upgrade. So can't go wrong with making that swap.
Yeah, and I also had Martinelli from the beginning. So like all those points that he accumulated, I was able to rack up.
Not bad. Not bad at all.
So that is Fantasy 15?
That's it.
In under 10.
Let's
Damn.
go.
All right, under 10 minutes. Awesome, man. Awesome. Look, that's pretty much all we got for today. I just quickly want to mention, I probably beat this drum multiple times already, but this relegation scrap, I know which one of us saw Southampton on there?
What, like to pick to be relegated?
Yeah.
I did.
Yeah,
Okay. That's maybe the only expected one that's in the bottom.
correct.
Nottingham Forest, 13th place. Leeds, 14th place. Bournemouth, yeah, it's Bournemouth, but they're out of relegation zone. Like this, how surprised are you guys seeing that this is what we're seeing right now? This halfway through the season already, these teams are in a relegation battle.
It's pretty fun.
And it's still tight. It's still
pretty
tight
fun.
in the relevant. What is it?
So
Like 5 points?
So
7?
Obviously the bottom 3 have 15 points, and then the closest team I would say within reach is Leeds with 17. So 3-point difference, 1 game. 1 game can just flip everything around. We could literally see West Ham or Everton get out of the relegation zone, and see any one of these. I could probably see either Wolves or Bournemouth going into that relegation zone. So by next week, we're gonna see a different relegation battle.
Yeah, normally I know I've said this before, but usually at this point of the season, you can more or less tell who is probably going to stay in the relegation zone and not come out of it. This season, completely different story.
I Liga.
I Liga.
I mean, it's crazy to see because Nottingham Forest, they were like dead last
Dude,
for so many weeks, and now they're in 13th.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I
5 points
had them.
safe.
I had them being
I would-
relegated in the beginning
So
as
did
well.
I had
Yeah.
Fulham getting relegated.
So Mitro.
I know, but Fulham, had Fulham and Norwich
Fulham's
always
notorious.
switch.
Yeah, they always switch. But
No,
hey,
no.
they might,
Norwich-
actually,
Norwich-
they might actually play each other
Yeah, for
in
real.
the Prem next season.
That's crazy, man. That's crazy. But that's all we got for today. Anything else you guys want to get off your chest?
I want to bring up one thing and one thing only. I think you mentioned it towards the beginning of the podcast, and I just want to, because it's funny as hell, the whole Casio thing.
What?
The-
Oh, the
Piqué. And Piqué is clapping back hard, dude. She said, "Don't get you trading a Ferrari
Trading
for,
trading a Rolex for a Casio.
and then she also said you trade
A Ferrari for a Twingo.
and then Piqué pulls up in a Twingo.
Is that a Spanish?
Bro, I don't think so.
It's got to be a
It's
European.
a
European
Yeah, it's like something
type of
European,
vehicle.
but-
Heard of it. But that's funny though.
Dude, this guy is clapping back. It's crazy, man. But
I like.
he's an idiot.
I think it's hilarious, but I hate Piqué. But the one thing what I wanted to bring up wasn't specifically him, but how many eyes are now on, because of what he's doing
On the league,
on his Kings League.
and dude, it's actually
it's
blowing up.
Big. And the funniest part is have you seen like the way that they're playing it? Like
Yeah.
there's no kickoff. Everybody starts on the opposite side of the field
Dodgeball.
and they run, and whoever kicks it first, that's whoever gets the ball.
Penalty
And-
shootouts are
Or 5 seconds. It's basically goal, what we used to have.
MLS. Mhm.
Yeah, in the MLS. And
have
the
one-
last thing, well, go ahead.
They have one rotating player, so it can be a public team like us, for example, playing, and then
Yeah.
they have one either current or ex-professional player
Yes.
that gets picked into each team, and each week they rotate.
And the funniest part of it all is VAR is one. They have one VAR per team, and the VAR is a live VAR that runs around with them, which is hilarious. And the cool thing is that they actually have La Liga players playing. But one of them is actually wearing a mask because he's not allowed to play, but he doesn't give a fuck. And Kuno wasn't
he wearing one and then he like took it off or something?
I remember
seeing something
but
like that.
Kuno,
Chicha played.
Chicharito has played. Kuno Agüero was promoting that there is a player that has won a Champions League, that has played for Real Madrid, that has, I can't remember what other thing, that is going to end up playing on this league for at least a match or two, and his code name is the Joker, because I think he still is currently playing La Liga.
Dude, it's the stats wise, 1.5 million views each time on Twitch.
Wow.
Is that where they're being shown?
Yeah. It's
On
all
Twitch?
free on Twitch.
That's more than
When?
actual professional football.
That I need to find out, but I think it's once a week, right?
Once a week on Sundays.
Yeah.
Dude, I followed this guy who broke it down. Dude, this league it's kind of scary how big it's blowing up.
But
and
it's fun.
This
I mean,
is the Super League.
It's a fun
I
league.
hate that it's Piqué doing it.
Yes,
though.
but
I
it's not.
hate it,
But
it's-
the only reason why I'm okay with it is because it's not only him. Casillas is involved. Kuno Agüero is involved. I think there's other Spaniards that are involved within this league. That he's not the only owner of it. There's
Shit.
multiple owners, multiple pro players that own this league, and it's and it kind of like it fell on his lap that Shakira dropped this, and he's milking it and promoting Kings League at the same time.
Casio came out fucking being in a sponsorship. now.
Yes,
Yeah.
Really?
yeah,
Wow.
he's an official sponsor of Kings League.
That's
There was
funny.
whoever's on Casio's PR team needs a raise.
Oh,
Because
this-
there was
100%.
one tweet.
The
There was a
batteries.
tweet where it came from Cassiona saying, just for the record, a Casio battery lasted long. A Casio battery lasts longer than
Well,
Shakira and Piqué's relationship.
Yes, but so they have that, right? And then the car dealership that owns that, what's it called?
Twingo.
Twingo. Their promotional stuff is all based off of the song. So like it talk about how a Ferrari, there's something about a Ferrari, but that the Ferrari you can only drive by yourself, but and in a Twingo or whatever it's called, you can have your girl and your two kids in the car. How the battery life is more, like you said, will last longer than their marriage, and all this other like bullshit, just directly talking about like Shakira's song.
But the crazy thing is that although Piqué is like definitely like getting so much out of this, Shakira's song's actually a hit too.
yes,
Like it's number one. Like it's.
I've seen people like parody it.
Number one on Spotify. So Piqué with another W,
Yeah.
making
Dude,
her
that- look,
making it so that her song is number one on Spotify to fund Barcelona.
Conspiracy theory. This was planned by the both of them, so they both make out.
Yeah, I mean, she got
Her
number one
song- her
song.
song
He
Her song
helps
slaps.
Barcelona without being there.
Yeah. Oh, yeah,
Like
that's a good
it's
way
like
to end
it, like it's crazy. Like I've seen tweets and stuff on social media, people trying to translate the song into English. Nothing hits the
No.
same.
No.
Nothing. I mean, yeah.
Clara.
Like usually, especially when it comes to like joking around in Spanish, you can't always translate that.
No, not at all.
So, but with this, the song's hits.
Look,
bro.
that's a good way to end it because that is hilarious. Let us know. Are you Team Shakira? Team Piqué? Are you Rolex? Are you Casio? Are you Ferrari? Are you Twingo? Let us know. You're the bench. Was the bench with the voice? Where the bench is always warm. Peace, everybody.
I thought it was Twinkie at first.
That's what I was gonna call it.